Ain't it foggy outside? All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yup.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose story's got stories, the hardcore icon, he's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one, the Sandman Hack. How the hell you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing great. I might have not... sorry, gotta get my microphone, you losers. Dude, I'm so excited about the Phillies right now. I got 99 problems, but they have 0 right now.
Yeah.
They might have, what do we got to win? 1 game, maybe 2 to beat the Dodgers. We're half behind now. Dodgers still play San Diego tonight, and we got 1 against Chicago.
We're off tonight, so it's going to even up the record, so it won't be
so we could be, if Dodgers lose tonight, then we could be tied up with them.
Could be tied up tonight. Yeah,
but I kind of heard on the radio today the guys are like that we want the 2 instead of the 1 because we could be facing these teams. San Diego supposedly is like locked into the 3rd.
The Padres are hot right now, but if they end up beating, they could take over they could still beat the Dodgers for the division. They're only 2 games back.
Seriously?
Yeah, they can theoretically take the division.
Yeah.
It'd be tough with only 4 in to play, but
right. I think they're 2 back with 4 to play, and they play them tonight. So if they win tonight, could be 1 back. They both have 3 games to play. I don't know who.
The Dodgers play the Rockies, close with the Rockies.
Okay.
I don't know the other.
Right. So theoretically, Padres still could win the division, but
In Colorado too, so probably a couple of Tony.
Yeah, but either way, I want the less travel time. I don't want an East-West Coast for our first match. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'd much rather have a shorter trip.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, the other teams, I think
Either Milwaukee or New York.
no, it will. I think it would be Milwaukee or Arizona.
Arizona's not much of a difference.
Yeah,
I was just there. It was a 4.5 hour flight.
Yeah, I was going to say Arizona's not that much different than San Diego, but it all depends. I mean, we'll see. There's 3, maybe 4 games left in the regular season, but things are looking up. I'm a little scared of the bye.
Why?
But
because Castellano could turn cold during a bye. Trey's starting to heat up. Nobody else is really hot on our team.
yeah, it's just getting off and just getting out of rhythm a little bit. You know, baseball's such a everyday, consistent, routine sport.
I heard the last 2 years, 3 out of the 4 teams that had byes lost.
Yep.
In their next round.
Yeah, with the new playoff format.
So there's not enough data out right now, but we'll see.
The baseball playoffs are so random. I mean, look at the Diamondbacks last year.
I think it's going to help our pitching staff give a little rest, though. Maybe.
Yeah, but also when you got guys like Castellano that's played every what is there? Him and 3 other dudes that have played every other game in the.
I don't know about anybody else, but I know
it's him and a couple other guys. But I don't need Castellano to get cold right now.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? And a couple days off could get him cold.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited. Red October, bring it on. We're ready to rock and roll, and hopefully we get a long playoff run for the Phils. It'd be really awesome to see. I know I want to parade on Broad Street again, certainly. We'll see. Hack, I know this past weekend you were in Arizona. Any stories from the weekend? Anything?
Well, no, except that, oh gosh, I wish I could remember these people's names there. They really have their shit together. It's like sometimes you go places and it's like, and it's like a little bit of helter skelter. I hate to use the Charlie Manson phrase right there, but it's like 5 people are kind of in charge. You know what I mean? It's nice to go to a place, everybody knows who's in charge, everything is working on a clock. It's like tick-tock, tick-tock. These guys were so good. And I've never seen this before, but you got to understand, you're in Phoenix, Arizona. Last summer, not the summer that just passed, last summer they did 110 straight days of 100-degree heat.
That's crazy.
They did 95 or 96 in a row this summer. And they have somebody come in like maybe twice a week. They had like Dreamer there and some of the guys that I can't remember. But if you ever go into a restaurant and you get this pager that they hand to you to stick in your pocket, right? These people had their shit together because you can't have people lined up outside in 100-degree heat on a Saturday afternoon at 2. So they have these 30 pagers, and then if you show up, they get you a pager. You go sit in your car. They set off your pager, and then you know to come into the store to do a signing, so you don't have to stand outside for 20 minutes. And they also have timed signings. They probably had like 20 people that had an exact time that they were supposed to sign.
Oh, that's cool.
These people had their shit together out there, dude, and it was just really nice to see that the business can still actually be done right on a small scale.
Yeah, that's really, and you shared some really cool stuff that we got to put on social media. You got a beer can from a guy from the arena that
96 or 90, whatever the hell it was. Dude, you couldn't even read the Budweiser printing on the beer was like worn off. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Oh no, dude, that's why I had to take a picture of it.
Yeah, and the pictures that the one person drew. Of you.
That guy took 20 hours. I think mine was 20. Sabu's was like 24 or something, and that's done with pencils. That's it.
Really cool stuff. We're gonna throw them on social media. We'll try to tag the artist too if you're listening
dude, if that guy can figure out how to turn that into to being a tattoo artist. Well, the difference is you got this thing like shaking in your hand 1,000 times a second.
But those are some really cool pictures.
He'd be one of the best tattoo artists ever.
Not cool though, Hack, were your picks again, man.
What?
Your picks again, dude. You went 1-3 on the weekend. You did get the Bills correct. Unfortunately, Ty, you and Hack lost on Monday night with the Bengals.
I had the Bills. Ty talked me out
Commanders
of it.
money line.
Oh, my Commanders! I told you guys at the beginning of the season that was my sleeper team.
He took Commanders money line because he was rooting against me and Hack Survivor picks.
Despite you guys,
Literally, straight up.
And the Bengals screwed me over week 1.
Oh man!
All right, me and Hack had the Bengals in our Survivor pool, and it literally took
The kid just had the greatest game of his life.
Jaden Daniels to go 21 of 23. They
Never punt the ball.
They didn't punt the ball. And
Ran
believe it or
for
not,
4.
the Bengals didn't punt either. It was the first game since 1940 where there were 0 punts and 0 turnovers in the game.
That's crazy stat right there.
Yeah, and if I lose on a game like that, the kid had. I mean, the throw he made in the fourth quarter,
The touchdown on the back right on 3rd and 11
To McLaurin.
Seriously,
Yeah.
dude.
Taking a hit too.
Yeah.
You gotta like the call there.
Balls.
That call is badass.
So McLaurin went to Cliff Kingsbury, who's the offensive coordinator of the Commanders. There was a 3rd down and 6 or whatever it was, and McLaurin apparently went to Kingsbury and was like, "Give me a shot 1-on-1, like for the game. Like give me a shot 1-on-1." And they dialed it up, and Daniels took a lick, and he delivered the ball in the only place he could catch it, and he got his knee down right in the line.
But if they don't make that catch, then we're looking at overtime, I'm convinced. Because Cincinnati would have they would have kicked the 3, they'd have been up by 8. Cincinnati would have scored, converted the 2. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to rationalize this in my head.
Dude,
I'm sorry, I caught myself.
The Bengals didn't punt either.
No.
So like they
Their
missed a
defense
field
sucked.
goal. They missed a field goal, and their defense sucked. But they scored 32 points, missed a field goal, and missed a 2-point
wasn't great
conversion.
either.
Well, guess what, guys? I'm still alive. I took the Jets last Thursday, and I'm rolling with the Thursday game again. I hate to be that guy. I'm going with the stinking Cowboys tonight.
Oh man!
Oh my God! I bet the Giants.
All right, Ollie, put your stick on
hold
them.
on. Danny Dimes has never won a game that was not on a Sunday. He's 0-13. Career.
Wait, what's that stat?
He's never won a game that's not on a Sunday.
Who?
So a Thursday or Monday night.
Daniel Jones. So he's never won a Thursday,
Monday.
or a Monday, or if they ever
Yeah,
did.
how many has he played?
Well, every team gets a couple of primetime games a year.
Okay,
especially-
not every team
He's-
gets.
he's-
No.
Jacksonville doesn't get primetime games.
He's
United doesn't get primetime
We
games.
play a
13.
primetime game against Jacksonville this year.
There you go. There it is. Hack checked you already, real quick into the show.
And they just got waxed by the Bills on Monday Night Football, so they were on Monday Night Football.
How about our Eagles, though, guys? That game on Sunday sucked.
It's a fucking heart attack.
Oh my God! I mean, look, I got to put it over the way Carter played. He was amazing.
He was an
Unbelievable.
animal.
Absolutely, and
He
because
wrecked the game.
he was so good. And I know previously, I don't know if it was on air or off, but we were talking about how he could be kind of a bust at this point. Him and Davis, like a little not underproduced.
Dude, I'm telling you what, freaking Seth Joyner was the reason that Jalen Carter played so bad, because Seth told him on his show last week that you're a loser. It's the worst draft pick that we ever made in the history of the Eagles team. I'm telling you,
Why
that's
you
what it
played
was.
so good, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have heart, dude. And Seth Joyner is a heart dude. And you know he will tell you, like Larry Anderson will tell you, if you're the shits, he will let everybody know that you're the shits.
Well, he played one of the best
He
games
called
of
He
the
was
year.
saying that about Davis.
No, he was saying Jalen Carter. Oh my God, here we go. Oliver again trying to prove me wrong. No. Jalen Carter, he said, was the worst first round pick that the Eagles had ever made. Ever.
I
But on
find it hard to believe.
This
Yeah,
past Sunday,
yeah,
though,
'cause he
I
didn't-
watched
he
it when
didn't
you
say
came
that.
in the house. I was watching it.
He's talking about
and the
Jordan
Jaguars
Davis.
are never on
I
prime
was
time.
talking about Jalen Carter.
his performance
Talking
this
about
past
Jordan
Sunday
Davis.
was absolutely incredible. He was so good this past Sunday, and the way that they held that Saints offense that was so fantastic the first 2 weeks of the season, they really held him in check all game, and they really kept us in that game. It was a weird game, and we got to talk about the Sirianni decision. I was yelling in my friend's living room. I was so furious at that 4th and 1 tush-push call with 12 seconds left on the clock, that even if you converted it, you wouldn't even be able to really have another shot, because you wouldn't
You would
even
have
go
one
for it.
shot in the end
A
zone.
fade. What are the chances of making a fade?
No, a cross.
From
anything.
the 17-yard line or wherever they were.
To Goddard, right underneath the field goal post, like we scored all the time back in the day.
It was such a frustrating call.
Without A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the only way I'm making that call is if I have Patrick Mahomes and probably Aaron Rodgers. Because I know they're not going to throw an intercept. They're going to make the throw. Like,
They're going to get rid of it real quick if there's nothing
Yeah.
there and
Or-
take one shot.
right. Like that, but like that's it.
Yeah.
There's so many things that could go wrong in that situation. We're all sitting here watching the game like, what are we doing? Because it's like, it's not about the 4th and 1. It's you. There's no reason. The timing, like what? There's nothing. There's nothing you're going to gain out of that.
Yeah, I love aggressive coaching. Like I said it last week. Like Doug was
Yeah,
an
it's like it's
aggressive
not
coach.
the play call, and it's like self. Like the Eagles scored on that running back handoff last year.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not necessarily calling that play. It's like, dude, just take the 3. Like
It's a
I
situation.
didn't even want you
Right.
to do the tush push. Just take the 3 points, please.
I'm okay with aggressive coaching and play calling, but it's all situational. All
Yeah.
of it has to be situational. You know, your defense just played better than they've played probably the whole season
Best
up until
first
this
half of
point.
the year.
Yeah, literally.
Easily.
The Saints are scoring 40 points a game. It's 3-0. Take the field goal. You're missing A.J. Brown. Have your offense, after 2 turnovers, have your offense going into halftime feeling good about themselves, and you get the ball at half. You can come out, and even if you take 3, you get the lead. Like, it's just, coaches don't think about the mental aspect of the game and how your players are going to feel. Like,
Oh,
they
I
feel
think
good.
most coaches do. This dude's an idiot. Well, dude,
No, if you watch all across the league, coaches don't even think about momentum. They think statistical analysis. They don't think about momentum. They don't
analytics,
they don't take momentum into the fact of the game.
Analytics, but yes, I think they do take momentum in when you're up and you can take that field goal and go from 7-point lead to a 10-point lead because you got only a quarter and a half to play. Obviously, yes, they're considering that. But I was listening to what's that show that the one super expert guy goes, listen, there's not the Eagles. He said first he started the Eagles have the best analytics department in the NFL, and he said that's everybody knows that. But there was not a single analytic in anybody's platform that said they should have went for it then.
Yeah.
That was a Syria, and if you notice, I said it to these two when we were watching the game. I'm like, wait a minute. How come our freaking offensive coordinator isn't in Jalen's ear in the timeout before that? It was just him and Sirianni. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, who's really calling the plays then?
I mean, I think it's a mix.
It's a cluster.
Yeah, it's a cluster.
And you can't have a cluster.
You can't have a cluster. Like, they got to get this stuff figured out because they do have the talent, and I know they're banged up here this week, so we'll see what happens this week. But
And that guy owns the Tampa Bay defense owns.
Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
He owns freaking our offense.
He does, but I mean, we'll see what happens this week. But you got the bye week after that. You get everybody healthy. I know we got a couple guys with concussions.
Everybody healthy.
Listen,
I don't even know what that
you
means.
You should have seen Oliver here watching the game.
Oh my
He was
God, he's
throwing
losing his
shit,
mind.
I was furious.
yelling
I
at
didn't have any money
Hurts.
on it. I was
Like-
furious. I was absolutely so angry at halftime.
Oh,
I was fuming.
Oh, I was pissed. I mean, listen, the defense came out. They moved Zach Bond out of the middle and they put him on the strong side end of the line. I was listening to Kelsey talk on the radio.
Yeah, they did a 6-man front
earlier.
Right.
He was like, "Listen, you go from a 4-man front, you get double teams. 5-man front, then you take away one of the offensive line's double teams." We were going 6-man front and just begging them to throw over the top, and Kelsey was like, "You don't have anything for a 6-man. That's
No.
goal line defense.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have anything for a 6-man front." And they just credit to Vic Fangio and the defense. They stood up and
Well, so they said it was a totally good plan. Now, it'll be nice to see what plan he comes up for Tampa Bay right here because it's going to be a totally different defensive scheme than it was. Like Huff only playing 18 plays, even though we're not sure if that's even because he sucks or not. But apparently we played a different defense than we had played in our first 2 games in our last game.
Well, it certainly worked against the Saints.
So what are we going to do against Tampa is the thing. That's what I was listening to on the radio today.
Yeah, we'll
what kind of adjustments are we going to make
Well,
for
see,
that
I think they
offense?
have a couple of backup linemen in, and Baker Mayfield doesn't do well if you can't protect him, so we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully they get after him.
their interior of their offensive line is actually banged up, so that bodes well for
Well, that's
Jalen
probably
Carter.
why we're favored in the game.
Yeah, we're what, like a 1.5, 2-point favorites?
They got a couple defensive guys who are questionable, like Vita Vea is like questionable, and Kalijah Cansey, their other D tackle who's pretty good, is also questionable. They had like a laundry list of dudes who were like their practice injury list today, so we'll see what finally happens Sunday. But
And guys, you got to make sure to stay tuned for our social media. I know Hack has a new strategy he's looking to deploy to get back on track with his picks. So, what's this, Hack? You had it right there.
right.
Hold on.
It's the Magic 8 Ball.
Oh.
Listen, this thing has to be better than me because this goes 0 for like 47.
this is a literal 8-ball he's holding in his
There will
hand.
be a video of Hack making the picks with the 8-ball.
I
Before
don't
this
even
weekend.
care. I want people to call in and ask for any kind of question, any kind of pick, anything ever. If you got a question, it's for the 8 Ball.
Okay. There you go. That's for the
Including
8 ball.
college picks and NFL, apparently.
Look, the 8 ball can't be worse than you have so far. All right, I'm just telling you.
Well, yes, of course. That's why I'm
Listen,
using it.
these are dire times right
Nothing
now.
can be worse than me, dude. I went and bought this thing at the dollar store today.
Hashtag fade hack.
Hashtag
Or maybe
fade hack.
fade the 8-ball.
We'll see.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe ride the 8 ball. I don't
Yeah.
know. Hey, now.
I've done that a couple times.
Yeah, Hack has too.
I've snorted a lot of them.
This week, guys, we are reviewing ECW Anarchy Rulez 1999. Really, really fun show. As always, before we get into this, I do have some show notes leading up to the show from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Hack, do you know who does the Wrestling
I was
Observer?
going to say, ask him who that is.
I think he was in the audience.
No,
Okay.
he wasn't. It's any guesses who does the Wrestling Observer newsletter?
Dave Shearer.
Nope.
It's close.
Yeah, close. You got half right.
Give me initials.
DM.
Man.
Dave Meltzer.
Oh, yeah.
You'll never get this ever.
Dude, I'm an idiot.
All right. In the 9/13 Wrestling Observer newsletter, of the wrestlers WCW has let go, Paul Heyman said he's most interested in Super Calo. He said he'd use Mikey Whipwreck for television tapings to put over certain wrestlers like Justin Credible and Super Crazy, who thinks he would have great matches with, but he would not use them as a full-timer because he feels it would send a bad message to the crew. He also denied any interest in bringing back
Bullshit.
Hack. He denied any interest in bringing back Hack. Sandman had expressed interest in coming back partially because he was mad at WCW for dropping Chastity when her contract expires in a few months. Heyman said Sandman left ECW without giving notice and never even gave them the courtesy of a phone call to say he was leaving. Okay? Hold on, I'm reading all this, Hack, so hold on.
These sheets and people like believe this stuff like totally.
Hold on. He said if they believed that bringing Sandman back would pop ratings or houses, he would bring him back, but he didn't believe that it would do so. He said he has to set a precedent that you simply can't walk out without giving notice and come back. And I just wanted to note here, you were back in ECW 30 days later.
Dude, I swear to God, no bullshit. I had a job. I got fired. I had another job in less than 15 fucking minutes.
Okay, I gotta ask you though, Hack. You've told me that story before, and I absolutely believe you. Is this just Paulie working the sheets here and the fans because they know they're
No,
smart?
that's just the sheets making up shit.
I think this is coming directly from Paul.
Now, okay, first of all, what Paulie do? Imagine Paulie saying that me not popping his ratings. Paulie would not say that because he knows that's not true.
No, but well, not even that. But
None of it's true, dude.
There's nothing to gain from him saying any of that.
To be a big surprise when he comes back, maybe.
Okay, first of all,
I mean,
all this happened.
I'm just thinking of Hack always says, "What's everybody's motive?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you're thinking, what's the gain from that?
Nobody knew
Maybe,
I
like
was
you said, a
fired.
surprise, but
I had another job before they told me, before they released me in the public. It was all 15 minutes. There was nothing else. Nobody said anything. It was said between me, JJ Dillon, who fired me, and Todd.
Yeah, no, I believe you, Hack. It's just
I just want people to understand that if you're listening to me and you guys used to love this, listen, Dave Shearer was the closest one to give you the truth out of all the sheets. You know what I mean? Other guys, it was what are they called? Hot takes. It was hot takes.
So Hack,
nobody knew I was getting released. Nobody knew I was getting rehired. It all happened in 15 minutes.
So Hack, when you found out you were getting fired, your first call was to Todd?
JJ Dillon said, "Hey, we decided to fire you." I'm like, "All right, JJ, thanks." Called up Todd, say, "Oh, I just got fired. I want to go back to Paul." He goes, "All right, give me a minute." Then 15 minutes, he goes, "All right, you start the day after Halloween." Like October 30th, I think it was.
you came back October 23rd, 1999.
Something right before Halloween.
Yeah.
So Todd was still affiliated at that point?
No, but Todd fucking... I'm not calling Paulie myself because the reason why I left Paul Heyman was because he lied to me and he told me I was going to be his highest paid player, and he paid Sabu like $2,000 more for one of those pay-per-views when we were in Cleveland. So I didn't want to have to talk to Paul, business-wise, you know what I mean? Hey, booking-wise, yeah. It's like, you have to understand something. It's like, you can not like somebody, but realize, dude, you have to do business with them.
Sure.
That's the business world. I mean, all the way down to a cashier that has this asshole dude that comes in and calls you hun every morning and expects this kind of change from his cigarettes and expects you to know the way his hot dog with relish that he wants. It's kind of the same thing. You got to do your job.
You got to do your job. So, that just interesting note there, especially because you were literally back in the company less than 30 days later after this.
And nobody knew it.
Nobody knew it.
Nobody.
That's why I'm asking.
Nobody in the fucking building knew it.
That's why I'm asking if Paulie would have put that out there to work the sheets, because you see in this show, and I'll get to
Paulie
this.
couldn't work the sheets. He didn't know.
Right, he didn't know you were getting fired yet. Right? Yeah, right.
Dude, Paulie never said anything about it. It was never even a question. That Meltzer fucking, the whole thing is like ridiculous.
Okay.
It's just straight ridiculousness.
The other note that he has is 1 month after numerous public announcements of Taz signing a 3-year contract with ECW, comes the revelation that Taz is expected by all parties involved to ink a deal with WWF. He is the current ECW champion, and he's expected to drop the title soon, expecting the change would take place on the 9/19 pay-per-view. He will be staying with ECW.
Vince never wanted him. He was a midget, and it was the land of the giants there.
Well,
That's bullshit, too.
Well, no, he was brought into WWF. Vince did win him, and they brought him in here. I mean, he was signed to WWF.
Yeah, but like
They pushed-
it was more to hurt Paul than to push Taz.
Well, they wanted Taz in, and they pushed him pretty big at start. Taz goes into WWF, and Kurt Angle is on an undefeated streak. He started his career, he was undefeated for a number of months. Taz debuted at the Royal Rumble in January of 2000, choked out Kurt Angle. It was Kurt Angle's first loss on
Wait, I
WWF.
do remember that.
Yeah, they brought him in, and they pushed him heavy to start, and then cooled him off pretty quick. But he did get a real big push from day one in the Garden, and they put him over there undefeated.
I don't even remember that.
You
Yeah.
think that was...
Is that why he lost the belt?
Well, that's why in the show he drops the title, because he's leaving ECW over the next couple months.
Or do
And
you-
that's why everything went down with the belt, as is how it did in the show.
Or do you think that's Paul giving...
that's bullshit.
Or do you think that's Paul giving Taz to him to try and promote ECW more?
No, I think he number one, that there was finance
There was
issues.
no way that Taz was getting over in WWE at that point. He was just too small.
Yeah, I think maybe if he...
And he wasn't like a high flyer, you know what I mean? If you're small and you're a high flyer, yeah, you get away with it. But to me, there was absolutely no way that he was getting a huge push.
I think they could have used him in a mid-card role, like a Jericho Benoit Angle Intercontinental European title role, but they didn't really go with him. And
that style wasn't that his styles to it was totally different than WWE's style there. If they're going to bring him in, then yeah, you push him, but
You
you
have
push
to.
him under his style. You don't mid-card him.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the difference between, it's like AEW and WWE now. It's like, can that guy be the heavyweight champ at WWE? No, but can he be the heavyweight champ of AEW? Yes. It's the same thing like Taz. Taz can be the heavyweight championship of ECW, but is he ever going to be the
Probably not.
Right.
You know, and
so
it-
like that's the difference.
But Taz leaving here at this point in time leads me to ask
Oh, wait a minute. I wasn't even in the company then.
not yet. You don't come back for another month, and Taz is still. You have a little bit of overlap with him before he's leaving. He does do a lot of jobs on the way out, including on this show. He puts over Sabu on the road.
Yeah, okay, hold on. First of all, he did a job, but it took 2 guys to beat him.
True,
To take his title.
but it's part of the
So
mystique.
that's Paul. No, that's Paul. He's still fucking protecting him.
Yeah, it's part of his
He could have
mystique.
We could have easily done that another way. You know what I mean? But that's not. No, that's not Taz. Like,
Well, he's saying after that he still did more jobs
He
after
did,
that.
and he put over Rob Van Dam, and he put over a couple guys on the way out. So he did business on the way out. and everything.
yeah, I know. But to take the title off you, it took 2 guys.
Well, we'll get into that later, but yeah, it's just interesting that Taz jumping ship
It's just little subliminal things.
to WWF at this point. So, yeah, I mean, didn't work out for him in WWF, but obviously he had a heck of a run in ECW. The show itself starts off with Steven Prazak outside. He's trying to speak to Masato Tanaka as he's
Dude,
getting out of his
I
car.
never knew. I had never seen that dude before a day in my life.
He was like an interviewer guy, and
I was like, who? When I first saw that, I'm like, who the hell is this
Steven
guy?
Prazak, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him either.
Yeah, and then Judge Jeff Jones ran in. There's like fans outside there too. Judge Jeff Jones ran in and was complaining about Masato Tanaka. Didn't look like Tanaka knew what he was saying, and he just like shoved Jones over. And then Jones was like, "You're going to pay an awesome price for your crime." So there's like your hint for what happens later in the show.
Yeah.
After that, in the ring was Joey Styles and Cyrus. And he was going by the Extreme Intellectual, and they
Self-proclaimed.
yeah, the self-proclaimed, and he had like some stupid. What was that like dot like the jewelry
It
or
was
whatever?
like a jewel on
It
his.
was,
and
I
Hack
don't-
said the same thing, but to me, like that, to me was like Cyrus is a. It's a like a mythological like figure or whatever, and
deity?
it's got like something like that.
Yeah, it was
But-
weird. Whatever it was a weird look, and he hadn't figured out like the network character or anything like that yet. I don't think at this point in time.
It seems
we'll
like he was kind of starting.
Yeah.
the way that him and Joey were interacting or whatever. Like
He's
it seemed like he was
Joey
starting.
was saying, because when Joey was talking to him, he's like, "What's the network? We're not on
Or he
a
was saying,
network.
the
We're-
office,
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
office,
Yeah,
yeah.
we don't have an office. Yeah.
Ah, good point, Alan.
Yeah. The first match on the show, man, this is how you start a show off. Lance Storm coming out with Dawn Marie, man, she looked fantastic. Dawn,
Sure.
So did Lance.
Yeah,
Lance was
dude,
jacked.
Dude, he
Lance
was
was
huge.
Dude, everybody on this show from Guido, dude, it's like Balls Mahoney and Big Sal were the only two people that were jacked on this show. Everybody was looking great.
Yeah, and Jerry Lynn was as well.
I didn't even realize that I might have been, maybe me, yeah, Scotty. Dude, there wasn't too many people in the locker room that weren't on the juice then. Like maybe me, Spike Dudley, and I didn't even realize it then because you don't even think about it, you know what I mean? But all these dudes, and now that I meet them later, I'm like, how much shit were you shooting?
Right, they're like so much significantly
Jerry Lynn is
smaller.
like 145 pounds.
I mean, heck, you're a lot smaller than you used to be. I mean, you guys are getting older.
Yeah, but I
you
did
guys are getting
steroids
older.
for 6 months of my life. I ballooned to 293, and then I went back down to like 260.
I'm just saying, you guys are getting older. That's a little bit of a part of it, too.
Yeah, no, dude. Those dudes were so much bigger. Like, it's just crazy. Guido looked unbelievable.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Not super crazy, but Lance.
Lance-
Unbelievable.
Lance
Jerry
looked-
Lynn, unbelievable.
Lance looked like a true superstar in the show, and
Yeah.
even like when he came out for the promo later, like I thought Lance was just like, man,
Well, they
you're
were
like,
broadcasting in Canada for the first time, so
Yeah,
you know he
maybe
had
that's
to do
why
a
he
little
was all-
something.
So Jerry Lynn has some injured ribs, and I guess that was from a beatdown from the Impact players. These two, you know, you're going to get a great wrestling match with these two. They start off with some really good like mat wrestling. They did like a flip out, like cartwheel kind of thing, and some head scissors, takedowns. And then Storm went to go work the ribs. Pretty much was like the storyline of the match. Going to work with a bunch of like shoulder stuff. He did like a drop kick, pretty much like a Jericho kind of drop kick by him from Jerry Lynn.
All right, first of all, are you talking about Lance, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the best drop kick in the business ever.
So good.
That dude's drop kick is like it's like a ballerina doing it or something
Yeah,
like
Cyrus said he had a great vertical leap of 40 plus inches when he and he was a 100-meter
college when he
champ.
was a volleyball player.
Yeah, he was a volleyball player.
Well, he was putting him over big on the commentary. So him, Jericho, Lance Storm, they all came
Well,
up
they're all
together.
boys.
Yeah, they all came up together. So like he was really doing a great job of getting Lance Storm over. Not that he needed help because Lance is pretty over at this point, but really was putting him over like the work that he was doing. And I
Well,
thought,
yeah, Joey and Cyrus's banner back and forth during this match especially, but even throughout the whole show was just amazing work back and forth. Like those two just coming
Unbelievable.
up.
Like,
Yeah.
cracking me and Ty up the entire time we're watching.
yeah, Joey was like a sick going into the show because at one point he mentioned he was like had something too, and I don't know.
I
Cyrus-
didn't even notice.
He was like, I guess, a little under the weather heading into the show. They were busting his balls a little bit about that, but
I know, but like on what these two dudes you said, dude, Cyrus was on, and I know, and I probably have never watched this pay-per-view like I have in the last week. You know what I mean, to do the show, and I had no idea how good Cyrus was because I just never really listened to it before.
yeah,
Dude, he's freaking good.
he is.
Like
He is.
great. Like great.
I agree, and it's not like Joey ever needed another guy with him, but it really
No,
does
but an
elevate his
intellectual
broadcast.
foil.
Yes,
And that is a little bit different than a Gertner who's like on his line,
Comedian.
you know what I mean? It's like, the difference is Gertner's giving you a line and you know he's giving you a line because you're watching SNL, you know what I mean? But Cyrus is giving you a line, but it's like coming from a straight like point of view.
Well, dude, the way they're going, they're both basically, it's all improv. What both of those two are doing, like, and we'll talk about it in the light, like when the lights off the lights off Sabu,
Oh,
like
yeah,
whatever. He's
yeah.
like, Joey's like, get your hand out of my pocket.
That's funny. That's the funniest line of the whole night.
Great line.
Yeah, like
Great
just
line.
that's improv stuff between those two. The whole entire show was just phenomenal.
Lance Storm fought out of a cradle pile driver, and then Lynn held him onto with a cradle for a near fall, and then they did a really great sequence with German suplex, and then a bunch of near falls just back.
Well,
and forth.
okay. All right, here we go. In my notes, I got Lance's drop kick is like God. Super crisp, and that chain that they did of all the 3 counts,
Amazing.
It was like 12 different 3 counts, and
they
it
were all
was
perfect.
good.
And the one thing I want to note too is when these guys are kicking out of it, they're like actually kicking out of the kickouts and everything. Like it's not.
Well, you got to use your body to get into the next spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. Like when you get in, it's too deep because you wouldn't understand it.
Go ahead.
Well,
dive deep.
no, but it would
It's
be
hard to
easier
explain
if
without a visual.
Yeah, without a visual, you know what I mean, with the fish out of water and all that stuff.
Pushing
but,
his head underneath and getting there and
yeah,
then rolling over.
it's a lot, but it was good. It was probably the best one that I've seen lately, and how long ago that was, and how many have I seen since? But that one was like crisp.
It really was.
And the ref was like right there for the twos.
He was.
And the
right
thing
there.
that really stood out to me about the match, and it's actually something that we talked about not too long ago, is you had a bunch of good falsers that got the crowd without ever hitting anybody's finisher.
Nothing with the finish.
That's a great point.
Like you saw Lance go for the
I didn't
super
think about
kick, or it's a catch, or it's a duck, and it goes into something else. And Jerry never got to hit the pile driver until the end. Like, that's the match that you want and that you can do without hitting 7 of your finishers for a false.
Yeah. No, it's a
And
great.
the,
Well,
cra-
you
and,
just
the
didn't do
crowd,
it.
and the crowd was with all of it.
Totally with it. The crowd was super hot all night. They did a lot of stuff. They did a powerbomb reverse into a DDT on a chair, which I thought was
Lance
awesome.
did a great job of jumping into the chair.
Yeah,
and that-
because
he
it wasn't
did
in the best position.
Yeah, it wasn't in the best
Yeah, they
position.
were far
and,
away.
And
Yeah.
Lance kind of
Logistics, baby.
Did a great job.
Logistics, no
Because
way
he
on.
knew he wasn't going to hit it the way that it was going, and he did a great job of
Yeah, and then Dawn Marie put his foot on the rope. Then Jerry Lynn ducked a chair that was in the corner, and then he hit with his ribs into the ring post. So this is like more on the ribs. You're just
Yo,
Which is a great spot if you're
Oh.
going for the rib story to duck the chair and you still get your ribs by the post.
Yep. It's just more and more onto the ribs.
Dawn was actually really on too, because I got to think because like when I'm watching a match like this, it's like imagine like right now when I'm watching an Eagles game, all I'm watching is the line. What is happening on the line, offense and defense. I'm not watching all the other shit outside. With these guys, I've seen so many of their moves and stuff like that. I'm keen on what the hell is she doing outside to make herself freaking like pliable in a match. You know what I mean? Like, hey, here I am. I'm not getting lost and stuff like that. She's not interfering, but she's still doing a good job of making her presence known.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I thought
It's
she
a
was really
Nancy,
good.
it's a Nancy Sullivan thing.
The backbreaker from Storm, and then he went on for like a submission attempt. They did a like tilt-a-whirl kind of thing into a DDT.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was. I didn't even know. I don't even think Joey called that right.
And then Jerry Lynn did a stunner. I've never seen Jerry Lynn bust out a stunner before. There was a couple. Stunners were hot. There was a couple stunners on the show in general. And then Storm was working the ribs over more. Jerry Lynn hit a great Hurricane Rana for a near fall. And then Jerry Lynn was just like selling the ribs, and Storm just like drilled him with the shoulder. And then they got a quick 3 count with like a weird roll up kind of thing.
Yep.
I like the finish coming out of nowhere, but it was a
but
flat.
it came out of nowhere.
It was a flat.
Yeah. I don't know. Why are you working the ribs the last freaking 90 seconds of the match?
We just like hit him in the ribs so hard and then rolled. I don't know.
I thought they started. I didn't realize he. To me, it didn't look like he was working the ribs early. He's kind of
At all.
started late. Overall, I thought it was like a great match. Just it was probably about 5 minutes too long for me. Once the chair got set up in the corner is where it started to go downhill.
Oh, wait, but that's my part that I thought was the greatest thing, that they set that chair up, but they never used it.
I mean, they did like one like shoot.
Nobody
it
ever
back,
got
but,
ran
like,
into it.
no,
Or
but
was that a screw up? Did somebody get hurt during the match?
But and like you said, the finish it was 2-2 out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It was
Yeah, I
almost
didn't get
seemed
it.
like it was like
I was like,
botched.
what?
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was like
Yeah,
what?
say it. Yeah. And,
I love this match as an opener. I thought it was awesome, but because of the finish, I gotta go a little bit lower. I'm gonna go 4.25 stars for my rating.
I'm gonna go 3.5
Okay.
because I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. I mean, I thought it could have went to another gear probably.
Okay.
And then with the finish, it's like, nah.
How long? How long
love
was
this
the match, Ollie?
Like
17? Yeah, I think 17.
16 minutes, 38
There you
seconds.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. To me, I can only give it a like less than a 4 because I've seen them do way better.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I've just seen those guys like straight tear the house down.
Yeah, I mean, really fun opener though. I know we're being
Yeah.
a little nitpicky, but I mean,
Well,
it's-
you have to understand too. This is '99. Those guys have those guys have worked each other so many times and whatever. And we'll get to talk about it. Other dudes that didn't have matches during this. To me, the card was like the whole lineup of the card was a little bit crazy because of the time that it happened and how long we had as a company to last in the end. I don't know. The booking was kind of screwy to me here.
Okay.
And we'll get into it. It was real screwy to me.
I mean, do you care about Lance going over or just the finish in general? Because I think Lance.
No. The finish was a hiccup to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But the match was crisp. As
You said
hell.
under 4. What do you give it? Like a
a
3?
3.94.
3.94 tie.
Yeah,
Those dudes can work.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jesus,
All
with
day.
anybody on the planet.
Yeah, I'm at a 4. I thought it was an awesome match. It honestly was awesome. It went to that point where, like I said, for me, it got to the like, all right, guys, when's home? Like you did awesome. You did.
Yeah,
what
you
did,
could have
like,
went home like 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah, like you did.
That's
what
a Billy Gunn thing.
Yeah, like you did what you came to. Like, don't overdo it.
That's
and
totally Billy Gunn. He learned a lot from Billy Gunn.
And
Being down there listening to him.
It was
Oh,
just,
Jesus.
but I mean, awesome match. Like
Yeah.
flat out, like their opening
super
sequence, what
crisp.
they did
It's
was
just super
yeah,
crisp.
Yeah, these
awesome
guys-
match. Like I'm nitpicking, but
No.
like 4. I
No.
mean, just yeah.
All right, let's see what the 8 ball says about that match,
not gonna give you a
everybody.
number. What?
All right, can you read it?
Try again.
It's oh god, it's not gonna give
What's the
you.
8 ball think about that match?
It's not gonna give you a number.
Says don't count on it.
Wow, don't count on it. Whatever that means. All right, yeah, don't count on a star rating.
Well,
from an 8
Hack
ball.
didn't because it's the first person that he knew. It's the first match with people he knew that got under a 500.
Yeah, there you go. Up next on the show was this was a little weird. So Simon Diamond comes out.
Dude, okay, just so this is the start of the booking situation. It's like feel good moment match, feel good moment match, feel good moment match. Just think of
Yeah,
that.
Simon has a problem. All right.
yes.
I love Simon's problem.
Simon has a problem. I actually really enjoyed the work of like Simon Diamond promos. Like,
Dude,
I know
I'm a huge Simon Diamond mark.
Well, we
honestly,
talked about
I'm a
this
huge-
before.
Yeah.
Like when you're looking around the locker room, you're like, who could you have pushed as like a top heel? Because
The smallest guy in the locker room. Dude, he might be a hair bigger than Darby Allin.
Simon Diamond?
Yeah. He's,
Really?
Dude, he's tiny.
Oh, I didn't know he was
He's
tiny.
not
Tiny.
No, he's not.
He's tiny. Ollie's
You
rolling
guys
his
are
eyes.
idiots.
He's not tiny.
I thought he was-
I've been around him.
I thought he was pretty big.
Yeah, but when you were around him, you were a 13-year-old kid, or a 7-year-old kid, or a 4-year-old kid. Yeah, he looked bigger in life. Simon Diamond is no more than 160 pounds soaking wet.
Simon Diamond?
Soaking wet.
He looks
You
like
have
230.
no idea what you are saying.
He looks like he's
you were.
230.
How many times have you been in the locker room? How many times have you met him, Oliver? Yeah, I'm getting pissed at him trying to tell me I'm a fucking idiot when he's never even been in the locker room with the dude.
Well, I'm telling
So
you,
how
you're an
could you
idiot.
know that? I'm not talking to you. Oliver, explain to me how you can know I'm an idiot because you know how big Simon Diamond is.
That's 160 pounds soaking wet right there.
He looks
The
big.
dude's
He's
bigger
fat
than
as
you.
Shit there.
He looks
160
230.
pounds soaking wet? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're getting tired of me calling you an idiot? Fucking
Dude,
moron.
I don't even know what picture he just showed me.
Fucking moron.
He showed me a close-up of a
Getting tired of you calling me an idiot. There. Just showed you he's 240
Guys,
pounds.
we'll put it up on social.
Honestly,
6'1", 225.
Yeah, he's 230. I think he's a thick
there
boy.
back in those days, there was no fucking chance in fucking hell that dude was above 180 pounds. You guys are idiots.
Now it's 180. Yeah, Guido was 160. Simon Diamond's bigger than...
Yeah, 160 right
Wow.
here. Yeah.
He's fat there.
All right. Let's regroup here,
Dude, I'm
guys.
talking about he was first in the company. I don't understand how you can give me zero credit whatsoever for the size of any professional wrestler when you've never fucking hugged a dude. How is that possible?
Oliver?
I hug these people. I get down on my knees and hug Taz. I get down on my knees and hug Simon fucking Diamond. I get down on my knees and hug Super fucking Nova.
How much did they pay you?
Yeah, what? Yo, Hack.
All these knees you were on.
Yo, Hack.
No, dude, I'm tired of these guys telling me fucking what I know for a fact. I'm in the locker room with them. You never touched a dude.
I never have touched Pat Kenny,
I can
Simon
pull
Diamond.
up fucking 50, well, maybe not me, but picture Diamond. He's a fucking rod.
All right, we're gonna.
You gotta understand, by 99, he's on the steroids by then. Check him in 95, get a picture.
Was he around in
You
95?
didn't even know who he was in 95.
Was he around in 95? Was he decent up in 95?
No, not
We're gonna have to hack
96,
check
not
that.
97, not 98.
Oh, so he was only, you're telling me that's his first year there, 99? You're fucking wrong.
All right,
close.
You're wrong.
Let's
and
look it
I'll
up.
even ask the 8-ball. Look, the 8-ball said you two are fucking idiots.
Wrong again.
we are
Idiots.
gonna have to check into Simon Diamond anyway.
No, you're not getting this show back on the rail yet. I'm not done with these two.
I have to.
These two are fucking morons.
No, they're not, Hack. I think they're right here. I think he is at least 230.
Oh my god.
He's a
He
thick guy. He
first-
played baseball and stuff. He's a,
Okay, he was Lady Poffo in fucking baseball, 160 pounds. Macho Man, 160 pounds when he played in the minor leagues. You gonna tell me that ain't true either?
we're gonna have to reach out to Pat.
August
No, you
1998.
people don't realize how small these individuals are.
Okay.
Well,
Especially without the steroids.
Mama's wrong again.
All right.
Anyway, he calls in the ring.
How can you even tell me? You never even hugged the guy stood next to him.
I have never-
And tell me. So, show me a picture, okay? Show me a picture with him against the Statue of Liberty. Oh, is he 310 feet like the Statue of Liberty is? Anybody want to check that? Statue of Liberty, 310 feet. The base is 150
Oh,
and the
there we go,
statue's
now.
150.
Man, he's fired up.
No, dude, because you guys are assholes.
No.
I live with these dudes every day. I know how tiny they were.
There's him in a picture next to Kid Cash dwarfing his ass.
And King Cash is 160 fucking pounds.
And he's dwarfing him. And he's 2 times the size of him.
Can we reach? Who would we?
2 times the size of them.
Who would be the best expert on Simon Diamond's weight in 1999?
Oh my god.
Can we reach out to any?
Dawn Marie.
Me.
Dawn, are they still the thing? I don't know if that's actually a good. They're not together anymore. I don't know.
Dawn Marie's ass weighs more than Simon Diamond did right now. Than that.
All right.
Now,
So-
you idiots. I'm getting tired of them telling me I'm wrong.
He's jacked.
He was pretty yoked
That's
back then.
bullshit. Yeah, put him on the fucking steroids, yeah, dude. Okay, so how big was Spike
Do
Dudley?
those bitch tits look like steroids to you?
Yes. That's exactly what steroids are.
with a-
That's how much you don't even fucking
Can
know.
I see?
Oh, with a
That's
gut.
exactly what a bitch tit is.
With the gut. With a gut.
That's what
with
a
a
bitch
gut.
tit is.
Steroids
Yes.
gives you guts.
That's what a bitch tit is.
Yeah. Steroids gives you a
That's
gut.
fucking not him. Fucking in
No,
the
that's him.
beginning.
That's him.
Find me a picture when he's of his first day in ECW.
Was
Then we'll
1998.
decide.
Was
Show me a
1998.
picture of that day.
Okay.
Okay.
He did
Simon
not
Diamond.
look like
You
that.
weren't there though, then, Hack. You weren't there.
98 I was.
No.
Bitch.
No.
I was only gone for 9 months, you idiot.
All right.
Bitch.
Let's.
September 11th to October, 13 months. Not even.
Okay.
No, you guys are fucking morons.
All right.
I'm done with these two.
Let's regroup here. He invites Tom Marquez to be his tag team partner. But then he
How much does Tom weigh? Tom's bigger than anybody we just mentioned.
Tom's probably about like, what do you think here, Hack? 110 pounds?
The guys who are always wrong get the most offensive.
Bob Ortiz is bigger than fucking Simon Diamond in his first day in ECW. I'm telling you.
Bob Ortiz.
He is. Lex might be bigger than him. His wife.
And then out comes...
You guys don't have a clue.
He told him to sit back down because he didn't say Simon Says, which was his gimmick. And then out comes Jazz, and Diamond cuts a promo. He said, if women have proven anything in this business, it's that they're worthless. And he said, not me. And then Marquez came in after Simon Says, and we have a match between Jazz and Tom Marquez. This was not really a match. It was more of just, I don't know, Jazz grabbed him by the dick, and then out came... who was it? Who was it that came in the ring afterwards?
DeVito.
Tony DeVito came in. That's right. And
he was jacked more than he ever was.
he was. But how tall was Tony DeVito here? Very small.
5'7".
Yeah, he was a very short guy.
Yeah, let's get Tony DeVito up against King Cash.
But he's probably.
And let's get it. And dude, Tony DeVito was probably taller than fucking Simon.
Oh God, you're a fucking you.
Dude,
You
do you
suck.
think Simon was 5'10"?
Yes, 100%.
I think he was close to it.
He dwarfs DeVito.
Yeah.
Did you watch the pay-per-view?
Yeah. I think he.
Seriously. Like,
Tony DeVito then came in, and then out came Nova. And with Chris Chetty, and now we kind of had a tag team match between Nova and Chetty and Diamond and DeVito, but not really, because this was just
a weird mix-up.
This is where you're talking about the booking getting off the rails, like the show was here, our show.
I think it was a cluster just to get to the ending of what this was.
New Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just a bunch of Nova spots with Chris Chetty. I thought they looked pretty good. I would have liked to have seen a tag team match, actually. They did like a powerbomb kind of thing for a 2 count, and then Chetty was down on the floor holding his leg, and DeVito did a really
Did
bad...
Chetty shoot get hurt?
I don't know, but DeVito did like an awful rock bottom. Did you guys notice that? He had?
They botched that.
Dude.
Totally. The timing was so off, and he kind of just like fell off of him.
Like just awful. And then Roadkill and Danny Doring came out and started fighting with everybody.
Lita.
And Lita, going by Miss Congeniality, that was her name in ECW. They took out Diamond and Jazz, and
what
then
a horrible name.
yeah, Miss Congeniality.
I know. It's
Yeah,
like you
just-
just never came up. I know, but you can't come up with anything better.
no, that's what they had for her. And then more people came out, and it was just a brawl. I don't know what this was. And then New Jack came out and just destroyed everyone.
Well, there was some weird posse that came out.
Yeah, there was Skull Von Crush. Do you know Skull Von Crush is? Come on, give me the name. I know it's right there for you, man. Come on, this is wrestling nerd
Skull
name.
Von Crush.
Big Vito from WCW.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
going to say Vito
Remember
came
Vito?
out, but I thought he was
Yeah.
going by Vito at
Yeah.
the time. All right.
And then
All right, just so you know, I'm checking with Bubba Dreamer right now how much Simon Diamond they think he weighed in his first day in ECW.
1998.
Thank
Does that
you.
look like 160 to you?
No less.
Less?
Yeah.
I will-
I can't wait till
Hack,
Bob just
I
tells
will
you you're
listen.
wrong.
Hack, I will concede defeat on this topic.
Dude, he wasn't jacked like that. He was a skinny
Nobody said he was
brother.
jacked. You just said he was 150.
I didn't think he's 150 though.
All right, I never said
And he
I
was
said
smaller than
160.
DeVito.
He was.
Ask
is.
Bubba if he was smaller than DeVito.
Yeah. Anyway. That was just a cluster. Not really anything special. Just kind of an excuse to get some people on the show. Any memories of these guys, Hack? Somebody like Tom Marquez and people like that? I don't think we've talked about him before.
Yeah, they were around or whatever, but
Never
nothing
hanging?
significant in
What
my head.
about DeVito? Any hangs with him or any stories?
No,
or?
I just know that he was bigger than Simon Diamond.
All right. Any stories of Simon Diamond and you playing one-on-one basketball? Did you dunk on him ever or anything?
You would have body hacked to the fucking bottom of the basket.
He was an athlete. I believe he was a baseball player. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was an
I
athlete.
don't know. And to me, I don't consider athletes baseball players. All right, if you're a baseball player, you can hit a ball. There's nothing athletic about being able to pick up the stitches out of from a ball from a pitcher and noticing if it's going to be a curve, a swerve, a slider, or whatever. You know what I mean? They're the least athletic of any professional sport.
Okay, I get what you're saying
I
there.
believe, basketball players are obviously the best. Then football players, hockey players are even above.
But I think hitting a baseball is the hardest thing.
I know, but the thing is, it's your eyes.
True.
It's all your eyes.
It's also
if
hand-
you can pick up the spin of the pitch.
It's also your hand coordination too, along with the eyes. But
Well, yeah, but if your eye doesn't pick it up, you're done.
Yeah.
And I don't know. What's harder, golf or baseball?
Baseball.
baseball.
Golf's
Yeah,
just
because
behind
golf's
it.
a solid ball sitting there.
Right.
Golf's just behind it, though, I
Yeah.
think.
Up next on the show, this was certainly a really, really fun match. International three-way dance between Guido, Super Crazy, and Tajiri. Similar to like Jerry Lynn and Lance Storm. Like, I don't think you could ever do wrong with these guys in a match. I thought it was awesome and just a really, really fun match. They got started with some leapfrogs by Tajiri. And then he was up on the top turnbuckle and he hit a cross body. Oh no, it was Crazy who did that, not Tajiri. He hit a cross body on them, and then Tajiri drop kicked the knees. I love Tajiri's kicks; they're so sharp. And at this point in time, he was really, I think, like coming into his own as a worker. You could see it at this
And you
point.
don't even need to put a hand up.
You don't even need to put it. None of these guys are putting up hands. None of these guys are slapping their legs. It was really, really fun stuff. They did a tilt-a-whirl head scissors from Tajiri on Crazy, and then a slingshot missile drop kick from Crazy after Tajiri was tripped, and then Guido did a crossbody for a 2 count. They had a camel clutch spot with Guido on Crazy, and Tajiri hit a double foot drop kick while he was in the camel clutch, which is a really nice spot. They did a lot of stuff, and then Tajiri hit a great moonsault onto both of them on the outside. Big Sal then got involved, and he hit a slam on Tajiri, and he took out Super Crazy with a powerbomb. And then Guido hit a Sicilian slice on Tajiri for a 2 count. Another really cool German suplex on Guido for Tajiri. Really good stuff. And then they go and brawl out in the crowd, and they pull in the guardrail. And then Crazy, I know we've said this before, Crazy has maybe the prettiest moonsault in wrestling.
100%.
I don't know. That one chick now is pretty good.
Stratton.
Yeah, she's got a pretty nice foot.
She does, but I mean, Super Crazy,
His is like a slingshot move.
Yeah, he's more of a layout, I think, than like a missile. You know, I don't know.
He kind of stood on the ropes for a second and then hit it perfectly, land on his feet. They
did a great job catching both him and Tajiri.
To get you to land on your feet, they did a great job catching. You broke his fall
That's the
enough.
goal.
Yeah,
To get the guy to land right back on his feet, and you take the hit.
I thought that was really, really awesome. Really, really great spot. And we've seen Super Crazy do balcony ones and everything over the years. Such a good worker.
Yeah, he did lay out.
I did notice no green mist in the match.
No mist, no green, no red. Yeah, they did not do any mist. Mist is usually, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't do the mist.
And especially involved on the run-in with Sal.
Yeah, so then they get back in the ring.
Sal should have got missed, did he, before he went through the table?
So, yeah, he did.
How can he be 700 pounds and not explode a table is beyond me.
It was like a
I think
soft
the table
landing.
slipped or something.
I'm like, that table should have exploded.
Well, I think the problem is that the table was vertical, and so it slips out from under him when he's trying to go through.
We didn't
it,
even
maybe.
really. The camera cut was bad. 'Cause
Late.
We didn't
It was
even
late.
see. Yeah, we didn't even see. how,
Guido just said at the most he was weighing 215 that night.
Okay.
And he's in night court right now. Guido's one of those dudes that stands by the judge and makes sure that you don't attack the judge.
Really?
Yeah, he does.
That's awesome.
And he gets paid shitloads.
Oh,
So
good for
he's
him.
got to be bigger than Simon Diamond at this point.
Well, he's saying 215 at the tops right there because he knows how lean he was.
Okay.
And I talked to him last night about it.
So you're
I sent him a
wrong. It
picture.
wasn't 160. So Guido just confirmed you were wrong, actually.
About 55 pounds.
Okay, first of all, we didn't talk about Guido's weight. We talked about what's his name.
We're not
Simon
talking
Diamond.
about
So
Guido's
take Guido with 215 right there, and take the other kid at whatever blown up side you freaking got that he was on.
Guido's not 250.
Anyway, this match, really, really fun stuff. Tajiri went for a sunset flip. Crazy held onto the ropes, so then Tajiri did a little counter into the tarantula. I love the tarantula, but as
The
always,
tarantula's the best.
you can't get a finish from it, though.
I know, which It's a
You know?
shame.
It's
No,
a
but
feel-good moment.
It was a great
The setup to get into it.
Yeah, it was a great
Yeah.
way to get into it. It was a little bit different than it
Totally
normally
different,
is.
yeah.
And I wish they did as like a stipulation one time if they did like a no rope break match so Tajiri could finish somebody with a tarantula. I can't believe they never did that.
No.
Well, I
What
guess it would
match?
be a no DQ match. Though.
No rope break match. So Tajiri would be able to finish
You
you,
could
with the
submit 'em.
tarantula.
Wait a minute. So, in a regular match, could you technically submit him
No,
in the
that's what-
ropes?
No,
No,
because
the ref would
it's a
always
rope
count.
break to 5.
That's why, like the tarantula, I love the visual of it. It's a great submission, but you can't actually win a match with it. So I'm saying they never did the stipulation of having a no rope break match, which would have been cool. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, or it could have been. Well, I guess ECW was always no DQ, but
Yeah,
you
we
randomly
still have
got like the rope break.
We saw a
with the
couple rope breaks
tarantula,
in this.
yeah.
Like Sabu had his foot on the ropes at one point in the match later, but yeah, this match was really really fun. They did a Mexican surfboard again.
Loved it.
The surfboard
Loved
always
it.
gets a pop for me. Like
I love it, and he did the roll
yeah,
around.
the roll around with it too. It looked great.
Oh, dude, you don't see that anymore. I'm glad I fucking just said that. You don't see that roll around down in that
No.
move anymore.
We actually just watched it on the
I forgot about that move.
We actually just watched kind of a variation of it on the AEW Grand Slam
Yeah.
episode with Mariah May and I forget her name, Yuka Sasaki.
Yakizawa or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
That was the best spot.
Oh,
in that match.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Nah, I just figured it out. What does that say?
He said
190 pounds, 6%. He goes,
that's 30
Just
pounds
on that.
heavier than what you said.
all right, so are you telling me Guido that night is weighing 190?
No,
No,
we're talking
we're
about
talking about
Guido.
Simon Diamond.
We were
dude.
talking-
Wait, I know, but what we have to do is Guido was on the same show, so that's who we have to fucking make a measurement against. How do you guys not fucking get that? Seriously. Guido was on the same fucking show, right?
Yeah.
So look at Guido's size, look at Simon Diamond's size, and do not tell me that fucking Simon Diamond's 220. Seriously.
Dude, I don't know. You're out of it. I don't know.
Okay.
What are we even talking about?
Yeah, we're
No, I'm not going fucking anywhere here, boys. We were talking about weight of wrestlers in the ring, correct?
correct.
Yeah,
Of Simon Diamond. Of Simon Diamond. We were
Okay.
talking about weight of Simon Diamond.
Yes.
You said he was no bigger than 160. So
Yes.
where are we going? Huh? Guido
Okay.
said he was 215. Huh?
Well, no.
Where are you going? You're going nowhere?
No.
Huh?
Guido said he was 190.
90. 30 pounds bigger than
And
the no
looked
bigger
way
than
bigger
160.
than Simon. And looked way bigger than him.
He's saying Guido said that Guido weighed 190 that night, so we have to compare Simon Diamond's weight to how Guido looked.
Yes, exactly.
Which is ridiculous.
But that's
'cause
the only thing we have.
He's dwarfing him in the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And we can put it up on the TV again and watch it together.
Well,
Guido's
let's do
8
it.
inches shorter.
Let's do it. Fuck
No,
you two.
guys, come
Fuck
on,
'em.
man. Come on, guys.
fuck
No.
'em.
Yo,
Fuck 'em.
yo.
I'm done with these two trying to tell me that they know more than me when I was in the locker room with these guys, hugging them every fucking day. Fuck you two. You fucking serious?
I think it's a little.
Right, Guido just said he was 195, dude.
We weren't talking
Guido
about
and Simon are the same fucking height. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And
No,
you're
they
telling
weren't.
me that Simon's 40 pounds heavier than him? No. Wait, you guys say 225. Guido's saying he's 195. So you're trying to tell me that Simon's 225 that night? You're fucking assholes. And you're idiots. Fuck you guys.
He's way bigger than him.
Yo,
Fuck you guys.
yo.
He's
Fuck,
Guido.
I can't have a show with people that are idiots.
All right, I guess not.
No one's an
Well, it
idiot.
happened without me.
Fair, we will.
Hack, you got to come back. All right, we got
Nope,
Yeah,
fuck 'em.
Hack.
Dude, I'm done being told I'm wrong
No.
every fucking week.
You're not wrong.
No.
Hack.
Done.
You said
Done.
Simon
I'm
Diamond
done
was.
being told I'm wrong.
You said
When I
Simon
don't
Diamond
fact, I'm right.
You said Simon Diamond wasn't more than 160. Were you wrong?
No, just don't fucking back.
Were you wrong?
Hack.
No.
Hack.
You weren't wrong.
Guido's 195 there.
Okay.
And he's covering Chisel and fucking Jack. Fuck you guys.
And
So if
6
they're the
inches
same
shorter.
size, he's still 30 pounds
Don't
heavier.
This is ridiculous.
He'll come back.
I know, but this is ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
we.
So the three-way dance, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome. Like we always talk about, three-way dances that have singular dudes. They do one-on-one instinct, like one-on-one and one guy's powder and outside the ring. Like everything that they did was together.
Yeah.
You know, like all their spots were together, everything was together. Like there was nobody isolated in the situation. And I love the international rule where somebody gets eliminated. Like you don't have to like isolate somebody. Like,
I love it too because it extends the match. You can get somebody over by getting the one fall, and then you could do more later too. So it's just, I don't know.
And then it's like if it's for a championship, the champion could lose and be the first fall.
Right, and you saw it later in the show too with the other three-way. Like I like three-way rules like that better because it just makes more sense instead of guys just trying to break up the pins. Like you want a pin to happen. It's great. It's better for you. Like I wish they would go back to these matches, this format of three-way dances versus what we see now currently, where it's not like elimination style. And I don't know.
did WWE ever do elimination?
Not that I remember.
I don't think they did either, but
They didn't do a ton of three-ways
Well, that's also
until
true.
like I want to say like 98, 99 era. They were pretty much a lot of like singles matches. Like
Up until that
ECW
point.
really started the three-way dance. I mean, which like the original one is Terry Funk, Shane Douglas, Sabu. Like it was a match concept that did not exist previously and was really brought on by ECW. And ECW definitely did them best. I mean, I gotta say, Hack and the guys obviously at Barely Legal, and ECW did three-way dances really well. The first finish was a springboard moonsault from Super Crazy, and Guido was out. It was about like
poor
10 minutes
Guido
or
was
so.
always like the first
I
one
know.
out.
I feel like he always is the first dude out. I don't know why. It's like, yeah, you got a job first.
I don't
here,
know
Guido.
I don't know if he's ever won like a triple, like a solo triple threat out of like any of them.
Yeah, I don't know. So Tajiri and Crazy then finished off the rest of it. Just a lot of kicks to Crazy. And then so there was like a little bit of stalling. There was a springboard moonsault off the second rope from Super Crazy for a 2 count. And then Crazy does the corner punches and the crowd's counting along in Spanish.
Dude, that's so good.
That is such a great spot. And the crowd picking up on that too was just like...
And they're in Chicago.
Yeah,
You know,
there's-
like,
I know,
that's
it's
not
like,
like an
I don't
arena
even know
show.
when they picked up on that or like started doing that, like counting in Spanish, but just to pick up on it and do it, and it just adds to the show.
It does. It adds to the show, and like it just gives it a little flair. They did a little handspring back elbow from Tajiri. He always hits that like $1 million. Crazy then hit a brainbuster and a sit-out powerbomb for 2. Tajiri did another... I'm sorry, that was Tajiri. Tajiri then did another powerbomb. And then he did like a swinging DDT for another 2 count. Crazy then went for... No, Tajiri went for a brainbuster. And then it was like an inverted DDT kind of thing. And then they went up top on the ropes. And then he hit an inverted tornado DDT. That was also a 2 count. And then there was just like a... Crazy went for his like a trio of moonsaults.
Yeah.
And then Tajiri cut him off with some knees. And then he hit a kick so hard. And then a brainbuster from Tajiri for the finish. Man, I really, really enjoyed this match. I thought that the work in this was super, super strong. You really don't miss with any combination of these 3 guys in the ring together. It is just like a classic mid-card ECW match from the later period of ECW. And all of these dudes have working boots for days. I thought that the work in this was fantastic. I might be going a little bit high on this one. Again, I'm going 4.25 stars for this.
I'm gonna go 3.5.
See, I'm being a little mark, I think, for my star rating. So you guys are going a little under, man.
I've seen a little bit better, and after Guido got eliminated, like there was a point where it was like kind of like a lull in the match, like, all right, where are we going here for a sec? I don't know if they got lost or it was like...
I was watching him. Tajiri seemed a little... like, he was, like, kind of working the crowd, but he was, like, not where... I don't know. It seemed like he was kind of doing, like, a slow motion thing, and a couple times where, like, Crazy was, like, ready to, like, go, and Tajiri, like, wasn't. I felt that a little bit, like, the little, like, slow motion, like... timing off or whatever you're talking about, Oliver. Like, it was a little weird, I felt at times, but like you said, you can't miss with these dudes. Like I just said previously, 3-way dance should be a 3-way dance, not a one-on-one with a guy powdering out. So It was a little bit off for me, but I mean, 4 stars is.
Yeah, I went 4 1/4. A little bit of a markup on me, I guess. I don't know. How long did this go? It was about like 15 minutes?
14:38.
Okay, so right around 15 minutes.
Fucking right on the money.
If you put this on a card anywhere, it's going to be a delivering match. So, really, really fun stuff there. All right, we are back here at the Sandman podcast. Hack is finally back in
They're
here.
trying to tell me I'm cheating with the 8 ball.
Hack is,
you can't cheat the 8 ball. The 8 ball knows.
Hack,
Ride
so
the 8 ball.
we're back on track here after the Simon Diamond weight breakdown that resulted in an argument between you guys.
Shout out Simon Diamond.
Shout out Simon
Hope you're
Diamond.
listening.
I hope you're listening. I hope you're
Dude,
doing well,
I hope
Pat.
he calls in next week and he says that is exactly what he weighs.
Simon says.
Hack,
that's good. That's good.
Simon wasn't on the juice. I didn't say Simon says.
yeah. Hack, what are your thoughts on the Super Crazy Tajiri Little Guido match?
The thing is, I've seen better. Like
That's what
I
I
told
thought
you
about.
about, like the match earlier with Jerry and Lance. I've seen better, so I mean, I can't give it more than like a 3.94.
Well, 394 is like your go-to score tonight. It
Well,
seems
yeah, I
like.
had to because both of these matches remind me of the same exact thing that I've seen so much before from then. But I was a little bit disappointed.
Okay, I went 4 stars.
I mean,
on this one.
disappointed. It's hard to say disappointed, but I just seen their matches so much better.
Yeah, we're saying disappointed loosely here.
Yeah,
Because, I mean,
it's not bad.
yeah, like I would never say
I
that.
know it's
Bad
great.
match.
It's great, but it's not the best I've seen from those guys. But it's obviously a time constraint right here.
Yeah. Up next on the show was Steve Corino backstage, and he was cutting a promo with Rhino and Jack Victory, and they were cutting a promo on the Insane Clown Posse, and they said that they were meant to face Raven and Dreamer, but they didn't want to come because they would lose. So
Surprised you didn't have any observer notes on that
yeah,
one.
did the ICP hold ECW up for some money here? I don't know.
That's probably because it's not true.
Well, no, Steve
Carino
Carino
said
gave
this
the
in a promo.
in the match.
And he said this.
Yeah, I know, but did we advertise that they were going to do a
Weren't they in
match?
WCW at
The
that point?
ICP dudes?
They were in WCW like the month or two before. They were jumping around from all the feds at this point. They were like, obviously huge wrestling
The
fans.
Insane Clown
Yeah,
Posse.
They were
So-
the circus act. Yeah.
So Tosh, what you just said makes even more sense to me. If they were jumping around, then they were trying something, and if they didn't like it, then they weren't doing it.
Tough shit.
Because they were
Wow.
pretty hot back then, you
They
know?
were. This was like their peak of
Like
their
on
popularity.
fire.
Yeah. And then Carino named himself and Rhino as the number 1 contenders for the tag titles.
Man, Carino
Dude,
looks
how
young
many
there,
matches
yeah.
have just been, like, made up here in this show?
A lot in the show. And then you see that Billy Corgan was in the front row, and then Cyrus told
And
Joey.
by the way, I'm Billy Corrigan's favorite wrestler on the planet.
I was just gonna say, go ahead and
Shad
say.
Khan, Shad Khan, and
yourself
Billy Corgan.
overstating.
Yeah, everybody loves you. And
And he knows also that Simon weighed 160 his first day.
God.
Just saying. I'm going to text Billy
Billy
right
had
now.
him step on the scale before the show.
Billy, let me text him.
And then Cyrus was telling Joey Styles that the ICP had more heat in the WWF than he did, and then Joey said, "That's a lot of heat."
Then who did?
Then Cyrus. When Cyrus was in WWF, he had a lot of heat, and he made a joke
Oh,
about
what,
that.
backstage?
Yeah, he had a ton
Oh,
of
what
heat.
was that? I don't even know.
There was a lot.
Maybe
Of,
that's why there was a thing like it was like Cyrus was back there, and who's the other guy? Scott D'Amore.
yeah, Scott D'Amore. Yeah.
Like, and they were like friends and stuff like that. So maybe that was the reason I had a thing about. I didn't want to accept Cyrus because he wasn't one of us. And then maybe there was this heat. Please tell me about the heat.
There was some heat in WWF between him and Bradshaw in like the locker room and stuff. So
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
That means nothing.
Yeah,
that was.
I was gonna say, who didn't need it?
I don't know. It's
That's
not-
like saying he had heat with Taz.
yeah, he had heat with him. I don't know. He had heat in WWF. It didn't really work out for him, and that's why he ended up.
How
in
long
ECW.
was he there? Do you remember?
He was there, like,
Was he
90
with us and went there, or was he there before he came to us?
I believe he was there before he came to you guys.
Okay.
I believe he was doing like the they were like a South African gimmick they were doing. I forget the name of the stable that he was in. Truth Commission, I think it was. Something like
What,
that.
him and a bunch of black guys and he was the mouthpiece?
No, they were all white guys, and they were doing
Well,
like
South Africa, it could be either way.
they were doing like a white apartheid kind of like heel
Oh,
gimmick.
wow, what?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Awful,
Back
right?
in those days, you can still do that.
I know, but
All
it
right,
was
just so people, I need you to understand what apartheid was you have to understand, in the year 1900, England owned all of Australia, all of Africa, parts of the United States,
India.
parts of Europe, all of India. You know what I mean? So apartheid was that they sent their like representatives, England, down to rural Africa. So pretty much you had a 99% black population, but the white English people ran it. And that's what apartheid was.
Yeah, well, that's a great historical breakdown by Hack there. That's a man, absolutely right there. So up next on the show was Sabu taking on Just Incredible with Jason. So Sabu, I guess, was not wrestling for ECW at this point in time because Credible had like a court restraining order against Sabu or something, and then Jim Molyneux told Credible that it's legally binding. But tonight it's Anarchy Rulez, and then the lights go out, and then Credible.
Get your hand out of my pocket.
Yeah, he had that great line to Joey, but was it?
That might be the best line out. That's like a Bobby Heenan line.
It was a
It really is.
Yeah, it was a great line. Did the lights go out before or after Credible caned the shit out of Bob Ortiz?
After. It was right after. He was caning them, and then the lights went.
Okay, yeah. Just beating the hell out of
Bob
Bob.
was happy.
Being involved.
Yeah, Bob was happy.
Was Bob a cool dude?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you give me? Him and his wife are like solid people that you have to understand. Bob, who was our ring announcer, and his wife Lex, when Joe Goodhart decided to fold Tri-State Wrestling Alliance and Todd Gordon bought it for him for like a penny or whatever, Bob and Lex had actually owned the tag team belts. Or maybe the heavyweight belt for Tri-State Wrestling Alliance. And you guys got to understand, back then it wasn't like you order a belt online and it's like at your house like 4 days later. Back then nobody was like printing belts. You didn't even know where to get a belt. So they had paid Joel Goodhart like $10,000 and then paid for the belts or something like that. Joel Goodhart goes down, and Todd decides to make a company with those two right then, and that's what started Eastern Championship Wrestling. So Bob Ortiz is really way more important than you think than just a ring announcer.
Wow, I never knew that about Bob Ortiz. So that's
Nobody does. That's why I was glad to tell the story.
that's pretty cool stuff there, Hack.
And he weighed 160.
Oh God, this motherfucker still.
He did.
Ortiz would put you in a pretzel.
Yeah. What?
I'm tapping right now. Bob. I will tap for Bob or Lex any day of the week. I love those people.
The match started Sabu did like a slingshot kick kind of thing for a quick 2 count, and then Arabian press, another 2 count. There was a Russian leg sweep on the ramp by Just Incredible that was pretty nice, and then Sabu was up on a table, and then Credible hit that with a splash. From the top rope through it. Is that where Sabu started to sell like the midsection, or did he get cut up on the
I
midsection?
saw the cut on him on his midsection.
Was that where it happened?
No, it was the table. It was the table spot on the outside where the table was set up on the ring and the guardrail, but then it fell, and he just had it lined up against the guardrail and tried to hit him with
The triple jump, or was it after that? With
to the outside of the ring, and then he did it to him again the second time. Remember, he did it twice.
Yes,
because the
second
table
time.
didn't like break the first. The second time, the table like shattered, and that's when Justin got the cut on the eye.
He was
and that's
bleeding
where,
heavy.
and that's where
Yeah.
Sabu got the cut on the ribs.
Yeah,
because the table like shattered, and the metal lining that's out that lines the outside of the table, that thing snapped and was wrapped like all over him. So that thing probably broke, snapped, hit one of them. Like that's where that probably.
Yeah,
came
when I
from.
was watching it at first, I was like, "Did Sabu hurt his wrist here or something?" And then he started, like, you'd see him touching his midsection. I was like, "Oh shit!"
No, yeah, he had a nice gash on
Yeah,
his ribcage.
it was pretty big.
But dude, with Sabu, I've been in so many matches with him. I don't think the dude gets hurt.
Dude,
I mean,
he was
honestly,
insane in this match.
I mean,
Like,
He was.
I've been laying on one of the biggest like when you're in a match and you think about what you could have done instead of what you didn't do. Me and Sabu, there's a table upside down with the feet sticking up. I'm laying next to that table. Sabu goes to the top rope and does a moonsault, and as he's coming down, I'm like, dude, he's gonna land on top of the
legs.
The legs. So I go to push the table out, but I didn't get it out far enough, and he broke like 3 teeth in his jaw. Didn't even bat a freaking eye. I didn't even know about it. The dude hits his face on that thing. I saw it because my head was like 2 feet away from it, but I didn't know that he busted 3 teeth. And he just keeps going on. Well, think about it. Him and Terry Funk, when they did that barbed wire match, Sabu cut himself like 16 inches on the inside of his arm. Tells Fonzie to go back in the locker room and get some tape. Fonzie comes out with the tape and he tapes up his freaking arm. And it's like a 2-inch gash. Dude, that dude's, he's impermeable.
He certainly lived the gimmick of suicidal, homicidal.
And that's
genocidal.
exactly why I kind of don't like this match, because Sabu's willing to put his body on the line and take any bump, and Justin's a pussy about every bump.
Dude, how about the one bump where the table's set up in the corner?
second one?
The table's set up in the corner, and it looked like, I don't know what Justin was going for, like a bulldog or something, or I have no idea. And he drove himself through the table, and Joey tries selling it as like he drove Sabu's face into the
Yeah, he
table.
protected Sabu there.
Right.
Totally.
But I mean, like, what was that?
But you have to understand something, that where PJ came from, PJ's Justin, he was with like the Clique in WWE. Nobody touched each other in matches and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He grew up to where things were light, and you never got a black eye, you never got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of his mindset coming into ECW.
And Sabu did the triple jump to him, like over the guardrail. He did the front flip over the guardrail, and Justin didn't catch him at all.
No.
Sabu lands like flat on his back, and he's like, "Yeah, all right, here we go."
I gotta ask you something too, Hack.
No, but he knows it. I told him he knows he's a pussy now.
I gotta ask you
He
about
knows
Justin.
He does.
At
As long as you know it.
Yeah.
Well, because you know me, I'm going to call you the fuck out.
Well, like you were saying last week, Raven was one of those guys too. You know, it's like
Yeah.
the guys knew that, and those guys know that too, and whatever. I gotta ask you, did you ever have any like I wouldn't call it heat or anything, but Justin kind of took the kendo stick
No,
as a
zero.
weapon? Nothing. Never was a.
First, I wasn't the first one with the kendo stick.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But it's not the same
Tojo
company.
Young.
Like, you're literally the same company.
Yes, but I accept that because that's the way the business is.
Right.
And just like I never had heat with Austin about the beer. You know what I mean? For who? For what?
Okay.
That's like negative energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Well,
would spend
and
my-
you're like, I'm still getting over, so whatever.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I just because you're synonymous with the Singapore Cane, and then Justin, they tried one of his many things that they tried to push him. You know, besides the 4 managers he had and all the run-ins and everything and things like that. But the cane then kind of became his weapon. So I didn't know.
Yeah, but I also actually, I think I'm going to help transform that from me to him before we left.
I'm trying to remember.
Somehow.
Okay.
What wasn't it a match for?
You guys
Weren't
had
you leaving and you had a match for the game or something?
You know what? No,
along
it
those
couldn't
lines?
be because I didn't have a match after I left. When I left and I didn't come back. And I didn't. And the next time I performed was in WCW. Yeah,
Interesting.
so it wasn't that. But I had no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah. He did hit Sabu really hard that the cane broke. And then he did a stunner from Just Incredible. That's another stunner on the show. They did the weird spot with the table. Sabu then, they're doing the spot with the triple jump and chair, but it got moved for a third time. And then Sabu reversed the tombstone, and then Jason caned him in the head. That's incredible, but then Sabu kicked out. Fonzie then put a chair into the ring, and then he hit Sabu in the head. Then there was an Arabian facebuster that
Oh,
missed.
that slide!
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of which, I gotta put Fonzie over huge in this match. He was awesome, on point.
So good.
Like, You see him flying around in and out of the ring, like sliding, like baseball sliding in and out, like
Gets up
so
on the
quick.
apron.
You
Like,
didn't even hear the whistle that much because he's freaking all
he
out
was
doing his
setting
thing.
up all the spots, chairs in, this table, this table, this table. He was all,
Well,
dude,
when
Fonzie
Justin-
was on point.
When Justin had him in the camel clutch and Sabu was kind of like banging on the mat, and then Fonzie's doing
Would
the
jump
whistle
up on the
along to
apron.
it. Fonzie jumps up to the apron. Justin went up to him, goes for a swipe at him, and Fonzie quickly jumps down. It's like so good. Like
yeah,
at the timing.
like Fonzie was on point
Fonzie's
in this match.
so
dude.
good.
Fonzie's always been on all points.
Then That's Incredible was reversed, but then Incredible reversed it back for a tombstone onto a chair. It did miss the chair. That was the finish. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're really pushing Justin hard at this point.
Dude, I'm shocked that fucking Justin went over in the camel clutch.
No. It wasn't the camel clutch for the finish.
The
finish-
tombstone. The tombstone.
finish
he
was
ended
the
up.
tombstone on the chair, but it kind of missed the chair. Was the finish.
I'm just surprised that Sabu didn't go over.
He did have the camel clutch in for like, it felt like a half hour.
It
but-
did. It was a little long. The match, what did it go, about 15 minutes or so?
14:06.
All right, hold on. You guys got to understand something. At this point, I went from, because I never cared about winning anyway, but Sabu's thing was he can't lose because of the way the Sheik brought him up and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Which I didn't have a problem with whatsoever. So that's why I was surprised that Sabu actually did a job for PJ, because he would never do a job for me. The only time that Sabu offered to do a job for me was the day my brother died. Me, you, Kelly, we were in Orlando. Found out that my brother died. I was taking a nap. And Fonzie comes over to the hotel room. And he's like, hey, Sabu's willing to put you over tonight. What do you think I said?
No.
Fuck you. No, you're going to beat me tonight like you always do.
But did you take that as a sign of respect that he was willing to do a job for you like
No,
that?
I take it as a sign as a disrespect.
Okay, because he knows your motto. It's like if you're going out to dinner with somebody and you know they're going to try to pay for it, like, no, I got it, you got it, like that kind of thing.
Dude, and I always pay for it. Dude, nobody beats me to the paycheck.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I go in, I give the credit card to the girl, and I said it's all on me. But yes, it's kind of that point.
I'm kinda
like, no,
surprised.
dude, my brother died. No, I ain't going over tonight just for that.
I'm kind of
Fuck
surprised
you.
nobody beat you for a paycheck.
But it was never a problem with me and him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was with me and Shane when Shane didn't want to do the job to me when he was on his way out and Nancy came up with the stupid finish that made him look like an idiot. You know what I mean? But Sabu never wanted to lose to anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Well, like you were saying, how he came up through his uncle, the original Sheik.
Yep.
The original Sheik was this like super heel, and he would do a lot of brawling stuff, and a lot of his matches had no finish because his mindset was, if we give him a finish and I lose, I can't come back and do business again. So it was a lot of like DQs, no contest.
Dude,
brawls.
and his uncle had no muscles whatsoever. You know what I mean? He was just a regular guy from like the 50s and 60s that would travel the world and stab a knife in
With the
your
spike.
head.
The spike.
And they would pay him buku money in Japan, in Korea, Puerto Rico. Him and Abdul the Butcher were like running the country then for dudes that never did a headlock in a whole match.
Yeah, they
never
did.
even locked up.
They didn't have to. He ran Detroit.
It was the greatest
he
thing ever.
He was a big time star.
Yeah, huge.
In his era. Really big star. So overall, though, I thought this match was fun because Sabu was clearly, I would say, like sometimes you watch Sabu and he doesn't hit all of his stuff and he's a little off because he goes for so much and he doesn't have like the best night.
See, but that's fine with me.
I like that too.
You know what I mean? I'd rather see you go for something and slip and fall
Well, and he
get yourself
and he
caught
would
in
do
the
that
ropes.
intentionally.
Yes, we
He's
talked
even
about that
said that
before.
himself.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's
which
done that with me.
I like.
I like that too, but like Sabu was very on in this match. I thought he was excellent in this match. I thought everything he did was very crisp. His movements was great. You could tell he was feeling it.
It was a little bit slower.
I didn't really like the match that much, though, is what I'm going to say. I love Sabu's performance in it. For whatever reason, it wasn't bad.
The pace was like right on time for those two.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3 stars. It's a little bit less than the performance I guess I normally... I don't know. Sabu was fantastic. Justin, I'm not the biggest Justin guy, but I'm going to go 3 stars in this match. Ollie?
I'm giving it 2.
2?
Yeah.
You're under me again.
Yep.
You're just undercutting my stars. I have a half star of inflation or whatever.
Okay, Tosh, whatever you give it,
yeah,
-1.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, it just never got to like where I think it could go. I mean, Justin's okay, like in the match, but him not taking like any bump really clean and being scared to do any like big bump is what takes away from the match for me.
Yeah, you're in there with Sabu. You got to take something.
Yeah.
You know, you have to. Hack, what do you give this match?
Dude, I love Sabu, and you know how I feel about Justin being a puss in matches, but I don't know, 3.5.
3.5. Okay. Ty?
I'm gonna go with a 3. I mean, the match wasn't your like typical like that was a great match, but I was entertained throughout the entirety, mainly because of Sabu and everything like that, and watching Fonzie and the whole ordeal. I mean, it was kind of nonstop besides the half-hour camel clutch that Justin had Sabu in, and Fonzie had to get up on the apron like 6 times and be like, "Yo, let's go!"
I know,
Like, let's go.
Finnegan's checking his watch, like.
Yeah, but I mean, it was entertaining for sure. Like not like the best match, but I mean, like you said, Sabu was also he was throwing himself around.
He was. He was really.
And that's
really
what I'm
going
saying.
for it.
Is that why it's like if he's going to do that in that match, you have to do
Something.
yes,
Bring
Right.
something
like
to the
take
table.
one bump.
Right.
Like you can come up with something.
You could do something. Up next on the show was the ECW World Title match between Taz and Masato Tanaka. So this was set up as a one-on-one bout between Taz and Tanaka, but then, as we saw at the opener of the show, Mike Awesome was in the crowd with Judge Jeff Jones, and the crowd's on Taz very early in this match. So, like, the word had gotten out that Taz is going to WWF.
I was gonna say I had never really seen him got heat like that.
He had major heat. They were chanting "You sold out." They were chanting "Taz sucks dick." They were really on. This Chicago crowd was really on Taz's ass.
Great crowd.
Great crowd, and you could tell
And
because
they packed it out.
yeah, this is a huge crowd for ECW at this point. I think it was around 6,000 or so.
They said it was the
technically
biggest.
our biggest.
Yeah. And this moment here where Mike Awesome's in the crowd. So Mike Awesome and Tanaka, very, very legendary series.
In his wrestling tights.
In his wrestling tights, in like
In a tank top.
in a tank
gym
top,
tee.
in a tank top. So he's coming ready to work.
I can't believe I didn't even think about that.
And then Taz is telling Paulie, make it happen. Mike Awesome jumps the guardrail. And now we have a 3-way dance for the world title here. What I really liked about this is you're going from a situation where the story of the match would have been all about Taz leaving and the heat for Taz. And instead of making it that, you then turn it into what's staying in the company and what's next. So
That's a good point.
I love the way that Paul knew the audience would have the reaction because they're the smart crowd and they know Taz is leaving. So he takes that information and then he transforms it by presenting a match that he knows is going to deliver, which is Tanaka and Awesome. And then they forget about Taz leaving. They're happy about what they just saw. It's brilliant booking by Paul. And I love the way that everything went down afterwards too, which we'll get to. But the match starts off with those guys just immediately deciding they were brawling with each other a little bit.
Premise.
Okay.
Me, Mikey, Austin. Paul didn't want me to lose to Austin because he knew that he wasn't going to have Austin for that long, you know what I mean? So then he does the switch where Mikey ends up winning the match and then Austin's supposed to win it from Mikey. Not saying that that's how it was going to go, but Paul with his freaking smoke and mirrors that he would do. And like, you see how the crowd reacted when Paulie's like, well, let's make it a freaking 3-way dance. You know what I mean? And I'm starting to get the Anarchy Rulez thing now because I was like, well, how many matches have been changed now? So I guess Anarchy Rulez is the idea that every shit's getting changed.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? At first I didn't like it because I didn't put it all together.
It's the vibe of the show because it's Anarchy Rulez.
Yeah, and then Paul, see, now you gotta understand, this is what, September 99, right?
Yeah.
All right, how long are we a company still? Less than a year, right?
No, you're a year and a half or so at this
That
point.
far?
Yeah, you guys
All right,
ended
so
early 01.
So, like, what's Paul's psychology here?
Well,
the only reason Taz is going to the WWE is because of Paul.
Well,
There's no, those two were in cahoots. Him and Vince have been in cahoots.
That's what I said
There's
earlier.
no way. It's not like Taz is jumping freaking ship. You know what I mean, dude? It was Paul knew all of that.
That's what
Paul
I
was
said
rolling
earlier.
all
Wasn't
that.
Paul saying, because you were like, there's no way Taz is getting over in WWE, and I'm like, well, isn't Paul just sending Taz there just to get WWE over? That's what
Well, and maybe Paul's thinking, I don't know, who knows what Taz is making, but there's something more involved in here than what we could see. But Paul still knew to protect Taz, as in not losing to one dude.
Yes.
Losing to two.
Yes, you want to keep that mystique of Taz, even though he's leaving the territory.
Right.
And
that's cool.
And Taz did do business.
That's what makes me think that Paul was in cahoots with the whole shipment.
I wouldn't be surprised. And the way that they did the job of Taz is they had.
No, that wasn't a job, dude. That was a beat. He got beat.
He got beat.
And that was not a job.
Well, they did hit their
They
finishers
did
on
it
him.
strong.
The roaring elbow on Taz, and then Mike Awesome frog splashed him, and they both covered him for a quick 3 count. I think it was like a minute into the match. It was very early.
Yeah, it seemed like a little bit more.
Maybe 2 minutes or so.
But why make it even longer than that?
Yeah, why? Because now we're going to give you the match.
And then the guys come out of the line.
Well, because if you keep Taz in the match, then he's just a distraction
Yes.
of what you're ultimately trying to gain.
Right, which is putting over Mike Awesome and Tanaka.
Dude, that's a great point. The longer he's in the match,
the crowd's
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
right. The
now
crowd's
they
just
know,
going after
hey,
him.
we got a new champ coming for
Right,
here.
we're seeing something big, and we're also getting a match that is a awesome match. Like, no pun intended. These two guys always deliver when they're in the ring. I don't know where I would rank this in terms of like.
It was actually one of their lesser.
I agree.
thought,
I
but
agree.
yeah,
I don't think
same.
it was. I don't think it was like their higher level. They.
Okay, so is everybody freaking figuring out the dynamics right now? First match. We've seen better between those guys. Then the New Jack stuff. 3-way match. Yeah, we've seen better between those guys. You know what I mean? Sabu. Yeah, we've seen better. It seems like every single match that we're talking about here is that we've seen better.
But really good though. Nothing bad.
I was just going to say,
it's not
ultimately,
bad.
ultimately, end of the day, I still thought it was.
But we've
very
seen
good.
better out of like 3 of these 4 or 5 matches.
Now I will say, many of these people in the audience probably have never seen Tanaka and
Well,
Awesome
I was
work
also
before.
going to say we've probably seen every single one of
Yeah.
all these dudes' matches,
And
so,
we have the
like,
hindsight of knowing
Yeah,
that.
that's the
right.
point.
Yeah, right.
These two guys, like Tanaka and Awesome. Hack, I want to ask you something about
Not
this.
doing that spot ever.
Well, no, I want to ask. No, not even about
And you guys know what spot I'm talking about.
the Awesome Bomb to the outside of the ring.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not doing that spot
I don't
ever.
think I've seen
That's just not
anybody
in it.
ever do those spot besides those two.
I know, it's just an insane bump. And Tanaka, we saw him
No.
WrestleMania weekend. He's still going, and he looks fine. He looks
Oh,
good.
yeah, we did.
He's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
a
He's
cyborg
thin now for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
but,
he's
like,
probably 160.
He's an animal, dude.
No, I'm just
Yeah, but that freaking spot is just.
You could've went either way.
okay. Yeah, no, but I gotta ask you, Hack. What is it sometimes in wrestling where you guys you find the perfect dance partner? Because Mike Awesome was the perfect dance partner for Tanaka, and
They were
sometimes-
doing it in Japan with the first time doing it. Let me tell you a quick story. So me, the Pitbulls, we brought an ounce of Coke, an ounce of pop of this into Japan.
We know.
And we're going.
We know.
And we're working with. Working with FMW, and Awesome was there, and he was so happy to just see Americans, because imagine. He's a guy married, he's got young kids, and he's got to make his living over in Japan. And he's over in Japan, like, let's say 8-9 months out of the year making a living. No pot, no drugs, no other Americans in his company. He's freaking bumming. Dude, we get there, Mike was so happy. Me and him got along so great.
And was it like that when you were at
Because
ECW
of the
again,
drugs.
Joe?
Well, no, because, yes and no. Because I probably wouldn't have been hanging out in this hotel room if I didn't have a Coke and pot on me. You know what I'm saying? I would have been and in Japan, you guys gotta understand, your hotel room's like a jail cell. Literally.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Like, straight literally. It might be like 10 feet by 6 feet with the bathroom included. You know what I mean? And the ceiling's only like 7 feet high, like in this little box. Man. Yeah, he was very happy to see us.
I mean, he made his bones in Japan, and he certainly had some really awesome stuff. The Gladiator,
Dude, what about his dive over the top rope?
amazing.
Are you kidding me? I don't
mean,
want to
he-
catch him on that.
No, that's a stiff
I do
catch.
not want to catch him on
It's
that.
the stiffest catch you can
I
make.
can go
dude.
like this, and he'll be like rolls over my back.
And
I'm
tonight-
not taking him face on.
Tanaka caught him great.
He always did. It's
There's a reason why they do that spot.
Yeah.
But Jesus, dude, a couple of those spots those guys do.
Oh God, every time, and the chair shots to Tanaka to eat that, man.
Dude,
All
the
of
chair
them.
shots that he's taken over
That
the
makes
years.
me cringe, man. I mean, yeah, I know you always.
does
but
any-
this-
Taking him in.
Does anything look better than a Mike Awesome frog splash?
No.
Like, dude, he's so big coming off the top.
I know, and he actually jumps and like tries to get the height on it, which makes him look even better.
Okay, just so you guys won't call me a liar.
Here we go.
Me and Mike back in the day would look at each other in the eye. Hey, dude, he was like 290.
Were you on a
easily
stepping stool?
ripped. What?
Were you on a stepping stool?
Yes.
They build him as 6'8". He ain't 6'8". That's
No,
Joey
no,
said
no
6'8".
way.
But me and him, just barefoot, would look at each other in the eye. But he had a couple inch lifters.
Okay,
No.
I
But
believe
Mike
it.
you were
was
barefoot.
big. He was a big dude.
No, he was big. I was
He
going to
was
say
thick
that
as
because
fuck.
Joey was saying they were like, oh, 6'8", 300. And to myself, I was like, he's not 6'8". I know I was 9 years old
Andre
and I
was
have
a
no
7'4".
qualms.
No, he wasn't.
But-
Andre was like 6'11",
But
7.
yeah, but that he's just so impressive, and the finish, the fact that he can pull him up to a power but like no hiccup whatsoever, complete balance, like
just
put
an
him through the
ox.
table.
Yeah.
like
Oh, yo, and for the finish, did you hear the crowd? Once they started to get up on the top, the freaking crowd just... I'm
Well, he
getting
was going-
goosebumps.
he was going-
They were
Tanaka
getting
was-
with them, dude.
Tanaka was going for the suplex,
I
and
got
it was
goosebumps
like,
now.
oh, and then as soon as he realized like he was hooking him for the power bomb, it was like, oh, like
Dude,
yeah.
that crowd was great, but go back and listen to it, and just listen to those last like 15 seconds before the spot happens. That's, dude, as a professional wrestler, you live for those 15 seconds, dude.
And he lifts
You
him up
live
for the
for it.
and he lifts him
You
up for the
fucking live for it. When they're like with you and they're building and they're building and they're building. Instead of like, you do a power bomb, all right, it's a 2-second spot. That was a 15-second spot where it just built and built and built, and the place lost their mind.
They did, and
And he don't just quick power bomb you. Like he picked him up and was like
Yeah.
full vertical, like on the top rope.
I know.
Like, boom.
Just incredible. I really like. I think it's just really genius booking by Paul. Everything about this, I love the presentation of it.
I didn't
the
love the locker room.
I
coming.
like that because it's like, oh, we're getting a new champ. Let's see who it is. I like how the face of the locker room was Axel Rotten too, and he came out later
that
in the
was a
show.
little- yeah.
Which we'll get
That's
to.
dudes that want to be in the freaking. I wasn't out there.
Well,
Well, you weren't
I
there.
wasn't even there. But no, but like Dreamer wasn't there, or Bubba.
Oh,
or
and
whatever.
we're assholes
It was
for
the
always
lower.
calling you
It was the
out,
lower.
huh?
It was the lower card guys.
Dude, I think I was weighing about 262 right there. Anybody want to argue?
Gas? No gas?
Still some remnants of the
Well, I
system.
don't know. It felt like the guys. It felt like the guys coming out was more for Taz than it was for.
That's how I felt
and
about
then,
it.
And then they like kind of hung out there, which
Yeah, but
I
then
get,
when
like-
what's his name, Tanaka splits them all, he goes running from like 50 yards away.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
why are we all still out here?
Yeah.
it was kind of like cheerleader-ish. Like they were like, yeah, get him with the chair.
Would have been better as a lumberjack match.
But I did like the post match with Taz coming out, and he gave credibility to Austin.
Hated that.
He handed him the belt. The crowd then is cheering him. He shakes his hand, and he lets Mike have the moment in the ring. Like I like that because you don't like that. Why?
No, he took away Mike's moment. Fuck him.
I agree.
He's not being salty about it at all.
That's not the point.
He made
dude.
it about
All right,
himself.
here's the thing.
He made it about himself giving it away, not Mike winning it.
Yeah, it's when I'm in a match and and it's a championship match or whatever. You give the guy his due. You're taking his due away if you go and be like, "Oh, well, I'm the Sandman and you barely beat me." You know what I'm saying? Scoot the freak out of the ring and freaking hide yourself.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're taking away his due right there.
I think that was.
And that's Taz one. No, that's freaking Taz wanting to get his due.
You think it's him wanting to get his heat
Well,
back?
just think about it. He's had the champion. Paul's built him up like the freaking like Superman, literally. You know what I mean?
Well, to me, that's more of Taz giving it away more than Mike winning it.
Exactly.
Well, I
You know,
thought
is what they
Hey,
made it.
dude, I lost it because two of you beat me.
Yeah, right. Like that's him doing it. To me, that could have been like a backstage segment, like Mike
Exactly.
celebrating and then Taz walking by, like, "Yo, brother, like,
Props.
congratulations." Yeah, like something like that. You
Yeah.
know, like.
But I hate that even when they do it now in AEW I hate that.
no, I like it.
I
It's
hate it.
sportsmanship. It's what they do after
Try
UFC
it.
fights, and you know.
Wrestling's not sportsmanship, dude. Wrestling's good guy, bad guy.
Well, sometimes
No
it can be
sportsmanship
sportsmanship.
involved.
I love this match, though. Again, like Ty, it wasn't quite at some of like their best stuff, but I'm going to go 4.25 star for this. That would be my star.
So,
rating
Al,
for
you're
this.
3.25.
Yeah, what are you undercutting me here? You undercutting motherfucker?
No, oh man, it's like I'm going 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
I've seen him do so much more. It's like this is like the theme tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't give more than a 3.5 because I've seen those guys do 10 times better. Than
Okay.
You guys literally read my. I'm 3.5. I
All
mean,
right.
it was very good match. But from the stuff, it's so hard to take away from a match because you've seen them do better. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to do that, but from
Yeah, but that's what grading is.
I
You know, it's hard.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
graded, dude.
It's because I don't want to make it seem like it wasn't like a very good match, but yeah, I've seen them have like
5 stars.
yeah, like beyond 5.
Like the one night stand
one-night
match we
stand
did, that's a 5.
yeah,
like that's a
like-
5. Like, and to me, this was not a 5.
No.
But again, I think Mike Awesome Masato Tanaka is like, it might be my favorite wrestling matchup of all time. Like,
Dude,
those two guys.
They
deliver.
don't miss.
They don't miss. That's why I go 4.25. Because like,
Yeah, like, they don't
when you
miss.
see spots like the awesome bomb to the outside, the chair no selling, the roaring elbows, the Germans, it's just like bruiser beatdown shit. I
Oh
love.
yeah, and there's no like slow work in anything. Like when they go, like they're just going.
And they
like,
didn't go that
everything
long.
they
What's
do.
the total time on the match? Like 15 minutes total?
13:48.
Yeah, like this was
For
not.
everything?
Yep.
That it was not like.
Seemed
Yeah,
longer.
see, it
so,
wasn't a
so
long.
their portion was only like 10 minutes then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
give or take.
like that was a quick version of their match. Like they had so much more to do, and they did it over the next couple months in ECW in early '99. Those two guys,
I mean,
just they had some TV matches. They had one right before the new year on a TV match where I think Tanaka won the belt, which is just another 5-star match.
That's what I was going to ask. I'm like, wait a minute. Because I don't remember as I'm watching this shit. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. Did Tanaka ever have the belt?
Yes, he
Because
did.
I had to think, like, as I'm watching, who can win here?
Yes, he did.
So Tanaka had the belt for a song and
a couple
dance?
weeks, and then Awesome won it back, and they had some more
Then
matches.
who?
Mike Awesome beat him back for the belt, and then
And then Awesome left with the belt for WCW. That's what I was thinking.
did-
Where's that timing
he
at?
didn't leave for the belt. That was in March of 2000, I want to say. He had the dispute where WCW he was going to jump ship, and then Paul actually had Taz come in to beat him for the title, even though Taz was
Dude,
working
crazy
WWE.
night. They brought in not JJ Dillon. They had like
Doug
their
Dillinger.
Doug Dillinger, yeah.
Yeah,
The
wasn't it
security, they wouldn't even let me near him. And I was like, dude, he's my boy.
Right.
I'm not mad at him at all.
Yeah.
I'm glad go. Run, get the money, dude. I know Warship's going downhill. I wanted to hug him.
Yeah.
I say, dude, I'm proud of you. Couldn't get near him.
I know, but that's crazy. Like, and especially because they tried to like transfer so much heat onto him, like in the commentary and stuff. And it's like, dude, the guy was going out to get paychecks. Like at
They
the
were
end of
just
the
playing
day,
an angle, really.
I know, but like, dude, these guys, like, I never fault anybody for taking money like that. Go make your money and make what's best decision for you and your family. Because you know, as much as the locker room could be a family, take care of
Dude,
your
and
actual
basically,
family.
all right, so Taz, but like a couple of the guys might not have been happy in the locker room about it, but because there had already been people that have held up Vince for belts during pay-per-views. I don't want to go, this guy's not beating me and all that stuff. So to me, it was just like, it's like an outlaw world that we live in.
Yeah,
You know, if somebody looks weak, then take advantage of it.
yeah. Don't let a promoter walk all over you. You know, stand up for yourself. Up next on the show was a Raven promo. cutting a promo on his own tag team partner. I really enjoyed this video package. So if you've never seen any of the Raven and Tommy Dreamer feud, this was like a great Cliff Notes version. It had all these great clips of their feud, and it really kind of explained everything about Raven, who came back into ECW at this point. He got his release from WCW. WCW would not allow for him to go to WWF to give him his release, so he had a deal where he went to ECW for about a year, and he comes back in. It's his first night in the company. The Dudley Boys are the tag team champions, and they're going to WWF. It's on the first ECW on TNN show, and Raven is the surprise partner for Tommy Dreamer. They defeat the Dudley Boys, and they win the tag team title. So that's why Raven and Tommy Dreamer are tag team partners at this point.
That's at Elks, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Huge
So that
pop.
happened before this show.
Yeah, that happened a couple weeks before the show.
Bubba actually went on Twitter and said, besides Sandman's return, the second biggest pop in ECW history was the Raven beating them for the titles.
And 911's Chokeslam, which we went over last week. I think that's above that, too. But
And none of them were even close. I mean, seriously, not even 50% of it.
we'll have to do that one.
Not even
coming up.
like 160%.
So I thought it was a good promo, and then it just was like a breakdown of their feud. So if you've never seen Raven before and Tommy Dreamer, it's like 4 years later at this point for a lot of that stuff. So it was a good like recap for the audience there. Then in the ring was Joel Gertner. He did a really funny promo, of course. And
Oh, dude, his family jewels, what he ended up with, that was great.
he's always his promos are the best. Like every time, his rhymes are great. And then he's interviewing Tommy Dreamer, and Tommy Dreamer's he made a point of showing his ticket stub from the Cubs game that he was at, and he said Sammy Sosa hit number 60 last night, and just like Sammy Sosa, I come here for all of you fans because you pay my salary.
What a baby face.
And he even said that too. He's like, I'm not going to come out here and cut a babyface promo.
I dropped the biggest babyface line in the
He
world.
comes out and cut a biggest babyface promo.
But you guys, a little backstory is that Dreamer and Stryker have this thing, and they finished it like last year or the year before that they've attended every stadium for Major League Baseball that there is.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that was kind of where the ticket thing comes from.
Okay, that's pretty cool. My buddy PT and his dad, they've been to every Major League Baseball stadium and some. So
Dreamer.
I think Tommy's trying to do all three. Like, I think he's trying to do baseball, football, and basketball. All three of them.
that's incredible.
Well, dude, you got to figure between if your four major sports, at least 10 have to be in the same town-ish.
And he does hockey too, so
You know
I think
what I
he's
mean?
trying to cover all sports and go to every single of the four major.
That's really cool. And
Hockey and basketball are the same.
yeah, that is true.
Oh, that's true.
but I wonder if
That's
they-
totally true.
I wonder
Ty.
if they have a rule where like you have to go to a hockey game for it to count. That's what it should be.
Well, all right, here. To me, it's not they're trying to do a Guinness Book of World Records thing. To me, it's like you want to do it to say you did it.
Huh?
I mean,
No, I
you
know.
were too scared.
He's over here saying somebody farted, so now I get distracted.
me.
Yeah, he farted.
No, but it's not like they're trying to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. It's just like them, like their bucket list that they come up with in their head.
Yeah, and it's cool too because I guess like as a wrestler, you're probably on the road a lot and stuff. You might have the opportunity if you come to a town a day early to like check one
If
of
I
those
was
boxes
wrestling,
off.
that's all I would try and do is go see sports games.
Yeah, it's probably be a great little thing for them. So it's pretty cool that he does that. This match was a little weird because then
Oh, just so you know, the one when we were in Fulton County Stadium. Anybody, you know where that is, Ollie or Ty? Fulton County.
Phone counting.
Atlanta.
That's what.
When the Atlanta Braves
Georgia's coming
original
out.
stadium.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't want.
What you were about to say, but go ahead.
Start the wave?
Yeah.
I started the wave single-handedly in that stadium that night.
Text Dreamer.
Oh, I am.
I did. Ask Dreamer.
No, Bubba's the one.
Oh, okay. So this match was like impromptu, kind of, because Steve Carino came out, and then Carino just kind of stuck Rhino on Dreamer, and then it started out as like a singles match between Rhino and Dreamer.
Yeah, that was weird.
The one thing to note too is Tommy's back was really fucked up at this point in time, so that's why he kind of didn't really get like a real match here
Because he was so fat.
No.
Hash, probably.
Hey, I'm texting him right now, or I would have said that to fat
He's probably getting
shit.
tired of all your texts tonight, like seeing stuff. Dreamer and Rhino were brawling, and then there was that turnbuckle neckbreaker thing that Tommy does. Carino then came in. He took a swing, but then he ran away like a puss. And then Dreamer had Jack Victory was in a wheelchair here, and he like shoved Jack Victory.
He's doing the Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
Franny with the nice chair
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah, Franny.
Great chair shot.
Great chair shot.
Shout out Franny. We love you, baby.
Love you, Franny. And then another chair shot. This one for Rhino. There was a slingshot crossbody off the top for Dreamer for a 2 count. And then Dreamer picked up Rhino for a Spicoli driver, but he couldn't hold him there. So then he hit him with a spinebuster for a 2 count. And then Carino came in the ring, but he had a ladder. And then
he was on the outside. He was on the outside, and then Rhino was about to shoot Dreamer into the Carino holding the ladder, like on the outside. The walkway?
Yes, the ramp.
Whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
the ramp. And he reversed it, and then Rhino hit the Carino holding the ladder and like sent him flying.
Yeah, and then Rhino grabbed Franny, and then he hit a sit-down kind of like slam kind of thing.
That looked good.
And then Raven came out. He DDT's Rhino.
Wait. He came out and got hammered by the ropes.
Dude, he eats shit. He can't get in there. He can't get in the ring. It was just like stumbles.
Dude, he tried to like leap through the middle rope and just got stonewalled. Like,
All right, people have to understand that Raven literally was the least athletic person in our whole locker room. Maybe Sal Graciano, he was a little bit more athletic than him. But
That's 'cause he ate all the pizza.
Raven didn't have an athletic bone in his body.
dude,
seriously.
we were cracking up. He tried to jump through the rope and just got stonewalled. Like he hit a brick wall of the ropes and then went down and like rolled underneath the bottom rope.
It was
So funny.
it was an embarrassing run-in. It
was like, yeah,
Ooh.
It was a mugging by the ropes.
It was Shockmaster-esque, I guess.
Yeah.
A little
No,
bit.
not that bad.
And then Raven DDT'd Victory and Dreamer DDT Carino, and they had a double pin. This was not really a match. How many minutes did this go? Was this 5?
3 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, here's the thing that, dude, there's a lot of talent. Well, I mean, think about the matches that we had. Paul has, all right, we know Lance and what's his name, we're going to have a great match. We know these guys are going to have a great match. We know these guys are going to have a great match. But then where do we fill in all these other people in like these feel-good, because of New Jack feel-good moment.
Yeah.
He's not in the match. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, New Jack's kind of always that. Like he's
Well,
always
like-
like your party starter, kind of like.
well, yeah, but just
And there was also 10 people around that.
but it's like Paul couldn't go wrong with this lineup.
No.
You can't
Nah, yeah.
go wrong with what he's doing. And think about all the talent that's being used, but's not being used in an actual match.
A lot of guys in the show.
There's like 10, 12 dudes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you see C.W. Anderson in there. Well, actually, I think it says on Cage Match he was the dark match of the night.
Oh, I didn't see
C.W.
that.
There was a dark match.
matches.
Yeah. who
Danny
did he
Doring and
wrestle?
Roadkill defeat Billy Wiles and C.W.
Okay.
Anderson.
Oh, get a little crowd going there. Overall, though, this I can't even really give this a star rating because it's not really a match. Like I don't know, I can't.
No, it's a hodgepodge.
Yeah, but it
It's
gets
like a
a 5
segment.
for the moment.
5 for the moment.
You know what I'm saying? It's a moment. It's not supposed to be anything else.
So post match, they have the tag titles. Raven flips off Tommy, and then in the aisle is Man Cow, I think his name was. He was a big
Oh, did you
popular.
see the beer he wore
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
side?
Somebody smoked
Looked
him
like
with a
But he
beer.
didn't sell it at all. Which
Nothing.
I'm like, dude, you're a man.
Yeah.
He did not sell that beer. That was a full beer
Yeah.
Yeah,
right
he
on the
drilled
side
it.
of his face.
Yeah,
He
he
knows
wore.
And
it.
he didn't even blink.
He no sold it. So he
Yeah, I
was
don't
like,
even know it was him and
And what
two
was
guys in sweaters.
I have no
Oh,
idea.
who is
George
Man
Animal
Cow?
Steel impersonators.
Is Mancow New York?
Nah, Chicago. So he was like a.
okay, because we're in
They
the...
Yeah.
said he was one of Raven's buddies.
He was
or
a Chicago,
whatever.
like I wouldn't say he was like a shock jock, but he was like a a drive time kind of guy or whatever, radio guy, radio personality, big wrestling
Like
fan.
Stern did?
Yeah, kind of, but not like at that level.
Well,
obviously.
Shocks are different than Stern is just the point there.
Yeah, similar to that, and he was popular enough, I guess, to
But
get.
huge. Like he probably, like back in that, because I knew the name, but I couldn't put like time and place to it.
Yeah.
So that dude probably had a couple million listeners, like drive time in the morning.
Yeah, and he did. I think he did something.
And skits and all that shit.
He did something in WCW with Jimmy Hart too. I think I remember. So
Makes sense. Jimmy, music business, radio, everything.
yeah, so like kind of a tie-in there, just to kind of like a little local tie-in, I guess. But
I know, but dude, he got a pop, but it's like I'm wondering, did they do that whole segment? All right, is Paulie thinking in his head, like when you're putting a segment together, is he that smart enough to know that we're going to do this, this, and this that doesn't really mean anything just to bring out this dude at the end for the big pop?
Yeah, it was nothing.
yeah, I think maybe
It was just bringing him out there just to get over with the crowd.
because it's Chicago.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but couldn't you put him in a better position? Is my point. If
yeah,
you're going to
something-
put him over.
Yeah, something more featured, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's something.
It was muddled. The whole segment was muddled.
It was like it was thrown together, like before the show or something, which probably was.
Paul.
Yeah, probably was. Up next was Axel Rotten coming out, and he was really putting over the show. And then he was claiming that, while he might not be the best worker in the business, he called out Mike Awesome. And then instead of Mike Awesome came out the Impact players. Lance Storm was cutting the promo. He looks yoked. He's in like a tank top here at this point. And with them is Johnny Smith, so from All Japan. He was set to face RVD in the main event. And then Balls and Spike run in to like make the save for him. Spike hit the acid drop on Dawn Marie.
Which was great.
Yeah, big pop from the crowd there. Balls then hits a chair shot on Johnny Smith, and then that changes the main event. So now, because he's injured, we get Balls, Mahoney, and RVD. Pretty convoluted stuff here this deep in the show. I don't really care for this booking. But
For your main event.
Yeah, it's like
Wait, but the only thing I'm thinking is, could Johnny been hurt?
that's the only thing.
Because that's the only thing that I'm thinking of how this spun that way.
In my mind, too, like Johnny Smith and RVD, hypothetically, probably would have been a better match than Balls and RVD.
I think they were trying to push that dude Johnny Smith at that point too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I had seen him on a previous.
You
show.
guys
They were
gotta
like,
understand. Johnny Smith is like the British Bulldog, like
Yeah,
like
All
a
Japan,
bad ass, all Japan.
Yeah,
That dude
I've
can
never
go.
seen that guy or
Him
heard
and
of him,
Furnace, I
really.
think, were tag partners,
no,
winning titles everywhere.
It was
I
Furnace
saw-
and Phil LaFon.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
But
I
Johnny
saw-
Smith was also All Japan.
I was watching a ECW pay per view. I think where they brought it was Johnny Smith's like first match. I forget what
Did we see
show.
him work Louis Spicoli? Was that him who worked Louis Spicoli? a
That
couple
makes
weeks ago?
sense. Totally.
It might have
Remember-
been.
that
But there
makes
was
total
a,
sense.
but there was a different show where I saw he made like his first like appearance or something like that, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And they were pushing that dude obviously clear, but when it was like Balls and RVD, I'm like, something had to have something had to have happened with this booking where you're not giving Balls RVD main event. Not like it wasn't like I thought it was actually a pretty good match, but.
Match
It
was,
was-
great.
It was fun. I mean, I enjoyed the main
Match
event.
was great.
So you,
Yeah.
you
I
get,
mean, like a main event for like a TV or like a regular
Not for
show.
a pay-per-view.
I say, yeah, for like a pay per view, it just seems kind of off.
yeah.
But okay, because you got to understand at that time,
Gotta
like
understand.
Balls wasn't like considered a top echelon player to even be in that conversation at all. You know what I mean? But to me, because what I've said is, dude, every guy in that locker room could work.
Right.
And Balls went out there and proved it. Dude, he went out there with what, 25 minutes, Ollie? Whatever.
19.
Yeah, it was long. It was a little
seemed
long.
even longer.
Yeah.
But dude, Balls held his own. You know what I mean? He wasn't blown up. It was like it was there, and that's why I think that Johnny had to be hurt or something like that, because I can't imagine that was the plan originally.
Yeah, they did some good stuff in this match. I mean, I didn't love it.
The Balls catch on Van Dam's
Oh, yeah.
freaking dive. Are you kidding me?
No, that was perfect. That was really perfect. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff. The RVD is just like on a different level at this point in '99. Like, and he is really the guy that
He's ridiculous.
He
so, like-
sold his ass off for Balls though too.
he did,
Yeah,
and he
he
made
did.
Balls
He
look like
really
$1 million
did.
bucks.
Of course.
And-
well, you don't look as good as you do until you make him look freaking good.
So you actually beat somebody, you
Yeah.
know? So I got to ask you, though, Hack, about some of the booking here because, all right, you got Taz leaving, and Taz is your top guy. And now on the November to Remember pay-per-view, which was your next one a couple months later, Taz did job to RVD. But what I'm saying is at this point, you just got on TNN if you're ECW. You've been on there for 3 weeks. You're getting a new champion. Why didn't you put the belt on RVD and rocket ship him at this point? Why was he not your world champion at this point?
But maybe because they were worried about him jumping ship.
Ah, that's a good point. Okay.
Dude, I think that's half the reason I had the belt so many times.
Because they were comfortable that
They
you were...
could, dude, Paul, he could trust me. I was going nowhere until he screwed me with pay.
Right.
Put it on Hack. He ain't going nowhere.
Okay, that's interesting because to me it's like, okay, this is your chance as ECW. You are on a cable television network every Friday. This is your opportunity to deliver, and nobody is more ready to be your world champion focus of the company than RVD. It's the time to put him over as the focus. And he was main eventing as your TV champion. He was your guy, but you didn't put the world title on him ever. And I kind of think this was the time to do it.
Well, think about it now. Who defends their title more, like your TV guy or your world guy? I know because he had leukemia or whatever. What's his name's only wrestled like how many times in the last 2 years?
Roman.
You know what I mean? So your TV guy should be the guy that's on TV every week.
That's kind of how I was picturing it. Like your television champion is your
workhorse.
He's really your flagship dude almost. Yeah, I don't know.
kinda.
I just feel like this was the time for RVD to stamp him, put the world belt on him, and make the world belt the number one and everything, and make RVD the number one. So, I don't know. Just my kind of take there, I guess. Overall, though, the match, really fun stuff. Balls got busted open from... What was it that he got busted open from? A Van
I couldn't
Daminator?
figure it out.
Or was it before that?
I didn't know why.
I couldn't tell what he got. Was it a hard way?
Someone say went outside.
Was it a hard way from one of RVD's kicks? Because I always know he had some... No?
Oh no, RVD will kick you hard, but he's not going to bust you open with it. I mean, if he breaks your jaw or something and you're spitting blood,
Right, but not the-
that kick
not the
isn't going to
forehead.
carve you.
Maybe Balls had some scar tissue that something
Well,
got
there
busted
was
open.
no way Balls was going out there and not bleeding because that's what Balls does.
Right.
He's out there with RVD and a pay-per-view
especially in
main
that
event.
match. Yeah, especially in that match.
Right. The Balls is like that.
That's how he's going to get over.
Of course.
He did his Rolling Thunder.
He did great.
Dude, run through your
that
notes here.
match was I don't have any notes because I was liking it. When I'm watching something, a lot of my notes come from shit that I loved or I hated. But when I was watching that, I was just like, oh God. They just went 23 minutes or whatever, and that was the end. And I liked the whole thing. I didn't love it, but I appreciated it as it was happening.
Yeah.
To not even make a note.
Yeah. I mean, I never bought Balls as going to finish the match, beat RVD, but he did hit him with a really sick chair shot towards the end. Great chair shot.
Dude, a couple times when Balls asked the crowd for it, they were there with him.
They were there with him. Yeah, they
You know what I
absolutely
mean?
were.
They were there with him a couple times.
No, he had credibility with this audience.
Absolutely.
It was not...
But he deserved it too.
Yeah. No, totally. And Van Daminator missed, and then that's when Balls hit the big chair shot. Fonzie then broke it up with a chair shot, right? Didn't he?
No, didn't he slide in and do a flip bump and get caught in the ropes?
Something
with a
happened
chair
with Fonzie
right
there. I have
then?
my notes. And then RVD hit a leaping sidekick into the chair for a 2 count, and then a 5-star frog splash for the finish. I don't know. I thought it was good, but it wasn't great, and it was kind of a weird match for the pay-per-view. I'm going to give it 3 stars. Ollie?
Same with you, 3.
3, okay. You're on the same page here with this one.
Oh, dude, I'm at 4.5.
4.5.
Dude, I thoroughly enjoyed this. Because I'm so used to seeing 87 spots in 2-3 minutes, you know what I mean? It was paced really well because Rob knew he can't go quick.
Right.
He can't do a Sabu because the kid's going to blow, you know what I mean? But he trusted each other. and Rob sold his ass off. Literally, Rob sold his ass off for him.
He did, and when you said
Like, I
pace,
was shocked.
when you said pace, it triggered something in my head where I was thinking when I was watching this match. Remember a couple weeks back we watched that Scotty Riggs and RVD match where, again, it wasn't like the best that I've ever seen RVD, but he was bringing a guy up to his level, and that's what this match kind of reminded me of, and that's why I'm going 3 stars with it. And when the pace factor, when you said that, Hack, like, yes, this was paced absolutely 100% correct. So
That was the best thing that ever happened to Balls Mahoney's career right there. And he showed up and showed the fuck out, dude. I'm proud of him right now.
Yeah.
And me and Balls weren't like good buddies or whatever, but I'm very proud of him for the way that he showed up for that freaking match.
yeah, no, I Balls.
He knew that was his shining spot.
He was
That's the biggest spot he's ever had in his life.
he was a pretty good worker. Like,
Dude, he was a great worker.
yeah.
Totally great. He could work his ass off, but he was much more suited for Japan. Much more suited.
Ty?
For strong style Japan.
What do you give it?
Give it a 4.
Okay.
You can
Dude, it very, very, very good from the like Hack said, the pace. Everything they did was not rushed. The spot, and they both got their spots in. Like you had, like Balls did his style, RVD did his style, and it both kind of meshed like super well together in some weird aspect. Because like Balls was like this like brawler, like whatever, but for whatever I can't explain it. Like both of them like worked each other's styles like to collab on both. It was very good. I was shocked.
Yeah. Overall, though, really, really fun show. I had a lot of fun watching this one.
It was a good show. If I would pay for that, I would pay for that pay-per-view.
Yeah, like if I had bought that pay-per-view for $35, $40, whatever it was back in 1999, if I was leaving my buddy Neefsy's house because he used to steal pay-per-views when we watched them.
Fucking Neefsy.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, show and tell Neefsy.
Yeah, you have
that dude that we couldn't find that night?
Yeah.
He was in photos. Oh, what a great night that was.
Don't incriminate Mike here, but we used to watch pay-per-views over his house all the time. I think we probably watched this one.
Oh,
So.
no, I'll incriminate him. I think, was it Oliver's 18th? Or who's
No,
18th?
it was probably something with Spike. He's a friend of Spike's.
All right,
Or
Ty.
it might have been mine.
Was it? All right, so here's the deal. I thought I did it
Yeah,
with
no
both of
snitching,
you.
dude. No
Yeah, no
snitching.
snitching.
Yeah,
But
no
just my
snitching.
deal was that you could go, like, once my kid turned 18, that you could take him to a strip club in Philly, but
Even though
you
I was
had
in
to
there when I was 16.
You had to bring your own alcohol. So whatever. But,
Dude, we were in there when we were 16, dude.
well, yeah, because I'm the Sandman. I walked right in like, yeah, Sandman.
Dude, me and my buddy would roll into this joint. We were 16 years old. Yo, Sandman, what up? Blah, 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 blah. We're 16 years old carrying 30 racks of beer on our shoulders.
No, literally, because you had to bring your own drinks.
Yeah, it was
in.
BYOB at the strip club. We'd go there. We end up at the bar, and Hack goes, yo, who's that? Like, speaking to the bartender or whatever, there's, like, coolers behind the bar. Like, yo, whose beer is that? They're like, oh, it's like so-and-so's. Hack's like, yeah, take it out and put ours in. And they're like, all right. Like, literally.
I got a great Neefsy story for you. I'll tell you off
All right,
air.
wait, hold on. Was that the night we got pulled over? Remember I was
Probably.
coming on for it. Wait, I think Ty threw up in his cup, and he did. He was.
that was a different night.
Oh wow!
There we go. But overall, really.
Yeah, we like strip clubs. I guess.
Yeah. Well, Hack, you're due for an Entertainer of the Year contest soon.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go
when's
back
the
there.
next
Dude, I
one?
was wondering about that today. When we gonna get invited back?
Yeah, the Diamond G-string. We got to get back there.
Were you
That was a
watching,
lovely night.
Kelly highlights? Is that why?
Take it easy, man. Yeah, bud. Simmer down. Listener questions, as always, send them into sandmanpod@gmail.com. Skinny from Boston writes in,
Skinny.
what's up, boys? Skinny from Boston.
Here's the 8-ball, Skinny.
I was a couple weeks behind on the podcast, but I'm back up to date now. So anyways, here's the story from the Revere show mass transit incident. So me and like 4 of my buddies were about 16 at the time. We took a bunch of acid and we're drinking all day.
Yes!
So we're fucked up. We had one friend who didn't do drugs, so of course, like asshole, we made him think he took acid too. Sandman was his absolute favorite wrestler. Just before he came out, we crumbled 2 pieces of paper and threw them on the floor and told him to pick up the piece. He said, which ones were? Like, there's only one? Okay, no, you're tripping. So they messed with him, I guess, like pretending like he was tripping.
They're trying to let him know that, you're fucked up, dude.
When Sandman came out, the place is going crazy except him. He's sitting there so upset, he thinks he's tripping literally the only person sitting in all of the Greyhound. That was Sandman versus Raven, I believe. When the mass transit thing happened, I remember we all thought it was a work, and we were basically chanting for murder. But I remember the dad screaming and seeing midgets.
Wow.
What was the locker room like after mass transit happened, before or anything after that hasn't been said? Love you guys. Picking the Bengals week 1. Haha. Patriots for life. Sorry, getting this email out while on lunch as a laborer. Love you guys. Have a good week.
Yeah, Patriots in the toilet. But go ahead.
Okay.
The whole locker room, dude, New Jack literally walked by me. I forget. I was the match right after him. And he told me he was going to slit. This kid wanted him to cut him. And New Jack basically had a box cutter on him. So he was telling everybody in the locker room that he's going to gig the dude. So when it really happened, it wasn't really a surprise. And you got to understand how like a wrestling locker room is, and how like we're numb to the world because we don't believe that anything that's on the news that you could believe and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it was really no big deal backstage.
Man, that's crazy.
No
You're
big
just thinking
deal.
it's all work, like.
That's
No big
crazy. That's just crazy stuff.
And skinny, big dick Nick Foles. Just saying.
Yeah, how about that? How about that, Skinny? Yeah, how about
Yeah,
that?
shove it up your keister.
How about them apples? Nate from Colorado.
Oh my God! Don't you guys hate on Skinny? For what?
Yeah, we
For
said Patriots
sports?
for life, dude.
Yeah,
For sports?
For
You're gonna
sports.
hate on it,
Yeah.
Skinny? I love you, dude.
there you go. You got
Yeah,
hack
you
on your
would,
side.
Queer.
Nate from Colorado Springs writes in.
Skinny, how much do you weigh? I bet about 160, 61.
There we go. Don't.
No, that's
we're-
Skinny, dude.
We're close to. Maybe it's one of those ironic names or something. I don't know. Nate from Colorado Springs writes in. What's up, Hack Pack? It's your boy Nate from Colorado Springs. Fresh adventure to this year's gathering of the Juggalos. No crazy stories. Had to lay low due to some health issues, but it was a great time regardless.
All right.
Hopefully you're doing well, bud. We wish you the best. Anyways, I got 2 questions for you. I read that Missy Hyatt said that she only slept with Sandman twice, and I quote, "He was really nervous working with me. He was really geeky and nervous and such a mark for me, and it was like the only way to make the gimmick work was just to release that tension, so I mean I did it for the business." My question is, why only twice? I would have taken Missy to Pound Town nightly. There we go. Hack, any comments here?
I don't know. Maybe my nervousness was because I was snorting an 8-ball of Coke in the last hour and a half. But yeah, I don't know. Twice. I don't even know how many times I did.
No, basically she's saying she fucked you because you were nervous working with her, so she thought that
Yeah.
fucking you would let you be less
dude,
nervous.
I just came off of working with Woman. Literally 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, but you're a blonde guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
You knew
dude.
you weren't fucking
Oh
woman.
no! What are you? All right. I see. I can't tell you guys the real story. All
Okay,
right.
we can't get anything here. Real story.
Can't tell you the real story.
Can't tell the kids the real story. It's okay.
2 pump chump.
Here you're. But Hack, I have to bring up. I don't know if I've told you before. You are Eskimo Bros with Jr. Good old Jr. was with Missy.
What's an Eskimo, bro?
There we go. We'll have to tell you off there.
Yeah,
So you both had the same girl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. He's not saying nothing.
Well, no, but how many other are under those dynamics?
You're Eskimo Bros with a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah, dude, I can
whatever.
fucking fill Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska, with a town of fucking people that are Eskimo bros.
Yeah, take it easy, Space Mountain over
Well,
here.
no, it's not me, it's her. It's not my exploits, it's hers.
You were the Chippendale. You were selling yourself out, Gigolo over here.
Like
Easy.
the boy.
Relax, Night King.
Yeah. My second question is, you did a lot of traveling. What are some of your favorite places to eat? Whenever I'm in New York City, I will always make time for a brisket and wings.
Yeah,
from
you gotta
Virgil's.
go to that meatball place. The freaking, they make the best meatball in New York.
New York?
It's the only place.
I've
What's the
had
name
it.
of
It's
it?
like
Do you know the name?
huge.
No.
You just the meatball guys. You got to go to the meatball place in New York City.
Every place in New York probably says they got the best meatball.
No, this one place is it.
Okay.
I know what
Dude,
you're
the
talking
meatball's
about.
like a snowball that you would make with your hand.
No,
It's
yeah,
huge.
he's not lying. It's literally
Oh,
like a
man, it's
softball,
good.
like a softball size, like meatball, and they literally just give you one meatball, and I can't think of the name
Okay,
of it.
well,
I'll
that's the greatest.
I'll have to see if I can get
Our
back.
buddy Bobby keeps inviting us up for dinner in New York soon, so we might have to take him up on that soon, guys. I'm just saying.
No, Brentwood. All right, Bobby, listen to me. We're going to Brentwood on Long Island, November 9th
Okay.
for a show. Tell Bobby, come over. I'll take care of you, give you pictures or whatever, and then you take us out to dinner.
Okay.
Is that the convention with
Yeah.
Todd and Franny and
Yeah.
dude Flair's? It's a huge convention.
Yeah,
like,
maybe we'll have to make a
the-
trip here in November.
Yeah.
Brentwood
names
on
of the
Long
names.
Island, kid. Come by me dinner.
Drummy from Bryan Street Tavern writes in, Yo,
What's that tab up to?
Yeah, what's that tab up to, bud? Yo, Sandy, happy Thong Thursday, bud.
Thong Thursday.
Yeah, he's celebrating Thong Thursday. I don't
Dude,
know.
how did he know I was wearing a thong?
Is it leopard print or
That's
cheetah print?
bothering me a little bit right now. Dude, but can you imagine wearing a thong with a nutsack of 2 oranges? Dude, it's hard. I'm just saying, I gotta be.
It's an extra large thong.
You got Rikishis on over there.
Yeah.
Is it a question?
All right, Todd, how's your segue from there?
I thought it was pretty good.
Who's Todd?
He's saying Taj. Is it a
I
vibe?
was hoping you guys in here.
Is it? He's busting my balls because he says Todd gives me compliments. Is it a violation to order pizza or wings well done? Nobody likes a floppy pie or slimy wings, right? See you at the tavern soon, I hope. No, not at all violation. Well done always.
Well done pizza
For
is,
life.
I think, a must.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't go a must, but that's if you're gonna do that, I would say that's definitely on the safe side because you don't want undercooked anything.
Never.
So
Always
yeah.
well done. I go well done every time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like when
No,
I order a pizza.
not
I don't like
must,
always
but,
say
like-
well done, but if you're gonna do it, well done is definitely the way
Same
to go.
for wings.
Yeah, but the wings, like these dudes that we get them from around the corner, like every couple of weeks, we'll get like 50 of them or whatever. Like 2 dozen of them, they overdo them.
Oh, they
Yeah, but
don't
like
it?
we'll order a Stromboli though, like well done or what? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's the way to go.
And you gotta let it
All right,
sit.
so people, a Stromboli is the way we order it is like a huge cheesesteak. It's steak, cheese, maybe Ty doesn't like onions, and maybe mushrooms in it. And the thing is literally like half the size of a pizza, but weighs like 3 times as much.
Love a good bowlie. Yeah, that's a good Sunday
Cheesesteak
football
Stromboli,
order.
man.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
come
Sauce
on.
on
There
the
we go.
side.
But a real Stromboli is basically an Italian hoagie in a huge, like, imagine making an Italian hoagie on a pizza plate and then fold the pizza over in half and then cook it.
Yeah, guys, you got to check out this area because we got a lot of good pizza and bowlies here.
Yeah, we live in the Northeast in
Yeah.
Philly. We have the greatest bread on the planet
best
coming from our water.
From the water.
Josh from Braintree, Massachusetts writes
All
in,
right, Josh.
Hey fellas, hope everything is going well down in the Sandlot. I want to start off
That's great.
and thank Hack.
That's the second one.
Yeah, I want to start off and thank Hack for answering half my question last week before going off the rails about CM Punk. I don't remember your question, Josh, but I'm sure Hack didn't
I
either.
That sounds about right, though.
I guarantee you he weighed more than 160. Let me ask the 8-ball.
Anyway, I read a while back that while Paulie had plans to turn ECW into more of a shoot-style promotion like UWFI and rings, steering away from the hardcore gimmick if he was able to save it from closing. Kind of like if Bischoff saved WCW and his Big Bang plan actually happened.
Well, that didn't work.
Paulie's idea tracks, given how he became Lesnar's advocate years later, so many years later. Did you ever hear about the shoot-style direction during the final days of ECW? I love the UWFI rings, Bloodsport style, and I think it would have been sick. Thanks for keeping it as real as always. The pod gets better every week, unlike Jade Cargill.
Nice.
Wow! Oh my God, dude! Yeah.
Thanks
the
for
shoot-
listening. Thanks for writing in.
Yeah, but
always,
the
dude.
shoot style, I don't believe any of what he heard or whatever. Right
Yeah, I mean, like-
because it wasn't even on anybody's mind back then.
Well, in 2001 UFC was kind of taken off, but UWFI was a promotion in Japan that had a ton of success. Rings in Japan had a lot of success, and
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it translates over to America.
right.
Well, he's basically saying Paul was kind of used that as a last-ditch effort to keep the company.
Yeah. Well, because you have to understand, Paul's last-ditch efforts fucking happened a couple years before that because he knew he was going to be in bed with Vince the whole time.
Yeah, I think if ECW
Paul knew that.
Josh, I think if ECW had survived, I think you would have been seeing a lot of those guys that ended up in CZW and Ring of Honor being in ECW. So
that makes sense.
The Briscoe brothers, Nick Gage, those kind of guys,
like the Ring of Honor guys.
Homicide, CM Punk, Samoa Joe,
Amazing
Bryan
Red.
Danielson, Amazing Red, Low Key. Like all those dudes would have ended up in ECW
100%.
had they been able to make it for another couple of a year or so.
100%.
Those guys were tearing up the indies back then, and they were the guys that Paul E would
Dude,
have
it
been.
was ECW
And those
shit.
were the guys that were probably most influenced watching ECW right then, right before they started.
Yeah,
and-
100%.
And to me, it's like CZW was like, okay, even though it started when ECW was still around, I think CZW started in 99 or so, but they took the hardcore direction and they went, really far with that.
That's
Okay.
not wrestling.
But Ring
There's
of
no
Honor,
wrestling in CZW.
there is though. You got to go back and watch some of it. There's a
Dude,
ton of stuff.
early days
Are
of
you going to
CZW.
try and tell me because I worked for them?
I know.
Dude, they're light tubes, they're death, they're freaking chainsaws.
They later changed to that. Originally, they were kind of
Dude,
like
the Briscoe brothers started out there.
Yeah,
They
but
had some real good workers and
transitioned
stuff.
to like the hardcore shit
And
because
even-
Wait, in what year were the Briscoes there?
99, 2000, 2001, 2002.
Really?
Yeah, they got their
Yeah.
start there. They were wrestling. They were actually had to wear masks at one point because they weren't allowed to wrestle because they weren't 18 yet. So they were wrestling in
I
masks.
love those dudes.
Yeah, that's it, dude. They're awesome. Like they're so cool. And like CZW had a lot of really good work rate on the undercards of some of their deathmatchy shows too. So like a lot of really good talent has come through CZW over the years. So yeah, interesting question there, Josh. So I think maybe ECW would have ended up a little something like that. I don't know. Kevin from Dayton, Ohio writes in, thanks for answering my questions every week, guys. This podcast really is special, and it sounds like you have a blast. Yeah, we
do,
We
man.
do. We're not arguing about what
Unless you weigh more
Thanks,
than
Kev.
160.
thank you for the good words.
Yeah, thank you, Kev. As you weren't on the Anarchy Rulez show and in ECW at the time, I want to ask, while you were out of the company, did you keep in touch with the boys there, or was it like no time was missed when you got back later that month? I'm wondering if you kept in touch with Sabu, Fonzie, and the boys and knew what was going on with the company while you weren't there in 98 and 99. Keep up the great work, fellas.
Yeah, but you have to understand something. I don't even think there was text messages back then like there is now. You know what I mean? So staying in touch with your boys are always your boys, but now it's like I'll throw out a text to Bubba and Dreamer, which they have all said that Simon didn't weigh an ounce over 160. Just saying. But it was you had to make a call back then, and not everybody even had like 2000. I think. Like I had a Motorola and like not even a car phone, like a phone that you could put in your pocket, not until like 97, 98. So it wasn't like you were like
Yeah, so it's like if you don't have a cell phone and they're always on the road, how's Hack even going to call them or talk to them?
getting the service and all that shit back then, dude. It was crazy.
I think what he was asking though was like, so you didn't keep up with them at all? Or?
Well, no, because you can't keep up with them like you keep up with people today.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like keeping up with people today is like a piece of cake.
Right. It's a lot easier.
I mean, you probably like got back home and like were maybe on the phone with Todd or something because like Todd's like your best friend. But like other than that, right? I mean,
Yeah. That's interesting. Up next week on the show, we are going to be reviewing Netflix Bill Simmons' Mr. McMahon documentary.
that's Bill Simmons?
Yeah, Bill Simmons.
I didn't
put that
realize
together.
Bill
Yeah.
Simmons was doing
and
that.
the director,
I thought it was Richard Simmons.
rest in peace.
He's not like over 160.
I don't know.
He'll get you down to 160.
We will be reviewing that on the show, going over that, seeing what we liked, didn't like about it, and then that's what we're covering next week. As always, Hack, the can of the week and the toast of the week.
Dude, usually I just have one, and this week is more prevalent than ever that there should just be one.
Are me and Oliver getting the cane of the week?
Let me go out. Let me go get one. Done. 9 out of 10.
No, go ahead. No, come on. Don't be the diva. Come on.
No, this Tufts lacrosse team in the United States, a lot of people have to realize is that there was a... And
The who lacrosse team?
Tufts. It's a
Tufts,
university.
TUF, yes, the university. They had a dude that was a Navy SEAL that came back to train 50 dudes. He trained them for 45 minutes. 15 of them ended up in the hospital afterwards. 3 are still in the hospital because of this crazy thing, like that when you break down your muscles so much, if you break it down so bad, then it can't repair itself.
Wow.
So 3 of the dudes are still in intensive care because of a 45-minute workout on a lacrosse team from a former player that was a Navy SEAL.
Those guys
That's crazy,
Insane, man.
Wow.
That's insane. I don't know.
Is that the cane of the week or the toast of the week?
No, that's a cane of the
Yeah,
week.
that's wow. That's wild stuff there. So I did not hear that story. I'll have to take a look into that too.
Well, of course you didn't.
I keep up on current events. Like, share, review. As always, send us in your feedback, and we will catch you next
mean he
week.
didn't do the workout?
Yeah, get me on that. I'll be dead. See you guys.
You'd have been dead.
Ain't it foggy outside? All the planes have been